We're live. And we'll go up. Oh, I don't know.
I think you have to hold the green button too. You have to hold the green button and the black button, yeah. I think you gotta pull out the this? Yeah.
Normally it starts up.
Give me a favor, man. Can you please get Aziza? Aziza? Yes, please. Great game yesterday. Very good, yeah. Is it plugged in?
Hey, is it plugged in? Oh, great.
Yeah, you need to pull. So I'll put it at the bottom and then pull the top.
Oh, it's not plugged in.
So you have the leverage for both of your angles. You have the leverage with both of your angles. One is on the side, one is controlling how you can rotate, the other one is rotating the angle. The other one is for the angle like this.
Crooked.
Huh?
Why is it so crooked?
Yeah, because you need to set it up. So tilt it and then set it.
Plugged in?
Okay, hold it, keep holding it. Right here. Same thing, yeah. Hold on to it. One button. That's the same thing.
Alright, here we go.
Good afternoon. Welcome here to Seaway 3 on a beautiful October Sunday afternoon off the shores of the St. Lawrence River. It is the conclusion of the Division 3 season. It is the egg of Ahuntsic against the Champlain Cavaliers on this Sunday afternoon. Champlain, Ahuntsic opened up the season, and now it's the final frontier of the regular season before they head off to the playoffs. A lot to be determined in this scenario, and it's a yo-yo look here for Champlain because they could finish as high as second or as low as fourth, depending on how they do against Ahuntsic, who have to beat Champlain by 18 points or more to get the regular season tiebreaker over the Cavaliers to get at least third for the season. And for Champlain, they lost a tough one last weekend and now hope to redeem themselves. And for Ahuntsic, a team that has won 2 out of the last 3 games as they took out Lanaudière last week, 21-15. And get ready for this game here. We'll welcome in Brent Bakken. Brent, let's talk about this game and how this has played out. Both these teams start off the year. Champlain won at the Ahuntsic football field. And now we look at this game here. A lot to be played for either side to get as high as 2, 3, or go as low as 4.
That's exactly it. Playoff sitting on the line for both teams. Both teams have solidified a spot in the playoffs. It's just a matter of who's going to finish where, right? You look at the tie-breaking scenario. The Cavs right now in third. They can get all the way up to second with a win here today over Ahuntsic and a win by Uruguay, who's playing Victoriaville today. The Cavs, though, could drop to third place with a loss. The thing for Ahuntsic right now, they're in fourth. If they want to leapfrog the Cavaliers for third, they have to beat the Cavs by more than 17 points. Why do you ask? Is that because back in week 2, the Cavs beat Ahuntsic 45-28. So obviously a 17-point victory, or more than a 17-point victory, by Ahuntsic would solidify the third place spot for them.
So Champlain 5-2, Ahuntsic 4-3. They had quite the rivalry when they were both in Division 3 before Ahuntsic made the jump up to 2 and got relegated back to 3 this past season, and hope to rekindle their love affair at Seaway 3, which Ahuntsic has played very well in years past against the Cavaliers in the South Shore. So Brent Bach and Mo Khan here, a lot to look at. Uruguay playing against Victoriaville this afternoon, and that is going to be key in how that plays out, who finishes 1, 2, or 3. And now for what should be a very compelling matchup with these two teams. The question that might come down to, Brent, is the quarterback play. When we look at both quarterbacks, we have one in Emerson Peterkin, who is fabulous, could very well be MVP again. And then you look at the Theo Paquin attack. A lot for him to learn, but hopefully for him to get better going day by day.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, coming into this game, you have to make you can make the argument definitely for sure that Emerson Peterkin has a quarterback edge. You look at the last time these two teams met, 296 yards, 4 touchdown passes, only 1 INT. You look at Paquin, right? 13-25, 176 yards, but he did throw 3 touchdown passes, right, to go along with 1 INT himself. Peterkin has the more experience. He's obviously one of the veterans set to graduate this year. He wants to put on a show, obviously, here in his last home game in the regular season here at Seaway 3. So which quarterback is going to be able to come out and make more plays for the team? The answer to that can give you the answer to who's going to win this game here this afternoon.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. We'll know by the end of the business day and who will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and who will be traveling to the Northeast, and who will be hosting next weekend on Sunday afternoon for the Division 3 playoffs here. Brent Bach and Mo Khan, and we get ready now for kickoff between these two teams. And we're minutes away from that happening. And the reason why the delay, the football.
Waiting for the game ball to be delivered. It finally has gotten delivered. Fresh out the package.
Which may not be as conducive.
I was going to say, exactly. We just talked about the quarterbacks. When you have a ball that's not beaten in, not worn down a little bit, that makes it real slick. It's going to be a little harder to throw. So both quarterbacks are going to have to watch out for that one. Again, a fresh new game ball here. I mean, it's great as a gift. But if you're a quarterback, that's not exactly the gift you want to be receiving.
No, it's not. And it might be a very slippery perception here for this game. So we get ready for kickoff now between Ahuntsic and Champlain. Ahuntsic won the toss. They defer for the second half. Champlain will go right to left. Ahuntsic left to right. Wind at a calm right now, but we expect that to change with the overcast looming over the South Shore for the duration of the afternoon. Set to return the ball is Massimo Longo on the near side and Darius Reed, the super rookies, loading at their own 5 and 10 yards respectively. And about to kick off this ball is Jeremy Leblanc, the kicker, wearing the number 7 shirt. Ahuntsic in their all whites, Champlain in their black helmets and charcoal tops and bottoms. And we're underway with Reed on the go. Reed bouncing out towards the width, and he's got a gap, and away he goes towards the 45-50. And fabulous field position, flag on the play. So that might reduce the Cavaliers' start position as we now get ready for Emerson Peterkin.
So here comes the offense back on the field. You have to imagine right now there might be a hold against the Cavs. Nonetheless, still pretty solid starting field position, by Champlain here. So it looks like actually the penalty is going against Ahuntsic actually.
So for Ahuntsic, it goes from bad to worse to start off this football game. And for Emerson Peterkin, he's 1 touchdown away from career TD pass number 50. He just surpassed over 5,000 for his career at 5,087 yards passing. And we'll see now how this plays moving forward for Darius Reed and for Emerson Peterkin and Massimo Longo. First and 10 for the Cavaliers. They're at the 44-yard line of the Ahuntsic field. So great start position for the Cavs on their first play of the day. Blitz from the middle. Peterkin, flush looking, going deep. One-on-one, incomplete, intended for Clark. And it'll be second down coming up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, deep shot right away by Peterkin. You like the aggression of the Cavaliers offense. Unfortunately, that pass was nowhere near being completed. Good coverage right there by the DB, number 23, Felix Olivier Brunet, who was going toe for toe and length for length there with the receiver. Setting up second and long now. You mentioned earlier, obviously, Mo, with Ahuntsic coming back from Division 2. They went 0-8 last year in Division 2. You have to give them credit. They said, okay, you know what? We're going to go back down to Division 3. Again, like I said earlier, they've already clinched a playoff spot. Now it's just a matter of will they finish third or will they finish fourth?
Second and 10 for the Cavaliers. Peterkin, swing pass. Ralph, first touch of the day, open hole up the middle, and he'll dance his way towards the 35. You talk about his last game of the regular season, and he's definitely one of those dream players for the Cavaliers this year.
Yeah, Ralph effective as a runner and as a receiver, as we just saw right there. Pick up of about, I want to say 7 right there on second down, making it now, pick up of 8 rather. So making it now third and a long 2 here. And that's the ability and the skill that Ralph brings to this football team, right? He has no problem catching the ball out the backfield. He even runs routes down the field as well. And obviously a tough runner in between the tackles.
Shy of 22 yards for 700 for the season rushing. It'll be 32 for the Cavaliers. Blitz again from Ahuntsic. Peterkin, another passing play. Middle, incomplete, in traffic, intended for Reed. In on the coverage was Roy. And a 4th and 2, and Reed is slow to get up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's a bullet of a pass there by Peterkin. Reed thought he was interfered with, but I think the timing by the defensive back was actually right on point right there. He made contact with the receiver after the ball had passed the receiver's hands. Good job, though, by General stepping up in pass protection. He actually knocked down one of the linebackers who was coming in on the blitz to the A-gap to the right of the center.
And with that, they'll keep the offense on from the 33, 4th and 2 for the Cavaliers. Whistles on both sides of the field as they'll recalibrate the positioning of the ball, and they'll move it back to the 35. So it becomes a little bit trickier. It'll be 4th and 4 instead of 4th and 2 for the Cavs. And there's another whistle.
Not sure how they lost 2 yards. It seemed it was incomplete pass.
Timeout by the Cavaliers, so they want to talk about it with 12:44 left in this first quarter play. So Brett, opening drive for the Cavaliers. It's a slow burn out of the blocks here for the Cavaliers, but they love to get this offense humming and get the first points of the day against a very good Ahuntsic defense that gave up 167 points in 7 games.
Well, that's exactly it. And how do you do that? I mean, you start winning at the line of scrimmage, right? You want to get the run game going. We haven't seen a run yet by the Cavs. You may see one here on 4th down. But obviously, right now, coming up, being the aggressor is Champlain coming up with the patch, right? So the swing pass to Ralph. First play of the game was a deep shot, fell incomplete. So the swing pass there to Ralph. On second down, we saw a shot over the middle there to Reed, couldn't connect. So you have to win it right now. But coming out being kind of pass happy, at least on his opening drive, you might think right here, if you're the Ahuntsic defense, you might be playing a little bit off the line there. Your D-line is going to try to pin their ears back, but the secondary and the linebackers might be dropping back a bit. I think now's the perfect time to call a run, either a handoff to Ralph or a quarterback keeper by Peterkin.
Still, Ahuntsic with the point of contention is the football being a little bit grease lightning, given that it just brought out of the box literally minutes before kickoff this football game. 12:44 on the clock. It's from the 35-yard line of 4th and 4 for the Cavaliers. Can Ahuntsic come up with a big stop here? The peak of the powers between these two teams about to be on display on this 4th down.
Ahuntsic has some size, though, on that defensive line. 3rd-ranked defense right here in Division 3.
Blitz from the near side. Peterkin going to the far side. Reed on the catch. He evades 2. And he'll slide in there for a first down like Shohei Ohtani. And if he kept his balance, he might have got maybe another 5 to 10 more yards.
And that's going to be a lesson right there for the young receiver and the dynamic Darius Reed. When he caught that pass, he immediately took the ball inside. He should have kept that ball to the outside, because imagine if he would have got tackled short of the first down. He had already got the line in the game, but it looks like he backed up a little bit before exploding upfield for a couple yards before that slip. Take the ball to the outside. You have a bit more space over there.
Reed coming into the game, 30 catches, over 515 yards receiving this year for the first-year player from LaSalle. Ralph bouncing, leading rusher, still bouncing, and he'll be bouncing backwards and devoured in the backfield by Jonathan Yembe-Wee, and that will be a 2nd and long coming up here for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Ralph going east to west, a little too long right there. I understand what he was trying to do. He's waiting for a hole to open, but sometimes as a running back, you just got to go forward. You have to go north-south. Even if you don't pick up anything right there, you minimize the damage. There's a loss of 6 right there on that run. It probably would have been a loss of maybe 1 or just 2 if he just would have went north to south right away.
Well, Ralph made a mess of that run, and now the Cavs are in a deep mess of a 2nd and 16 from the 35. Opening drive, 3.5 minutes into this first quarter play for either side. Peterkin's got time, going deep. Clark incomplete. In on the coverage was Corbet, and Clark upset himself because he had the angle, but the ball just missed him by a nail.
Yeah, if you're Peterkin right there, obviously, it would have been better if he could have led the receiver, if he would have put a bit deeper into the end zone right there. I think he would have had a touchdown. Obviously looking for a bit of a back shoulder throw right there. Great move there by Clark, but like you said, he wasn't able to come up with the ball.
Right now, Peterkin not having the substance yet, lacking the clinical edge that he's always possessed as a runner and as a passer too. And now the 3rd and 16, and you would imagine another whistle here, timeout called by Ahuntsic. So 2 timeouts in the opening drive.
Yep.
As I want to talk about it again on this 3rd and 16, and we know how Champlain is, Brent, on 3rd down and 4th down conversions, especially when it's 3rd and 10 or beyond. They are like a kid in a candy store. They pick whatever they want and hit that completion.
That's exactly it, especially over the middle, right? I know Emerson Peterkin, we saw right there, he had a deep ball a little bit to the left of the left hash mark right there, but usually they do the most damage between the hash marks over the middle of the field. But of course, this Cavaliers offense, so missing 2 key pieces today. Isaiah Sassy, veteran receiver, he's out of the lineup with an upper body injury, as is James Anderson, another veteran receiver. And the loss for both players this season, especially Anderson, last time out against Ahuntsic, 3 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. So obviously losing both of those veterans in the lineup is going to fall now on. We talked about the young Darius Reed, the rookie, Massimo Longo, Jalen Clark, who we just talked about on that deep ball. Those 3 right there, Luca Vendito as well, right, to step up and make a play in the absence of Sassy and Anderson.
Well, for Longo, he had 3 touchdowns against Ahuntsic in his debut in Division III, and he would love to add to that account of touchdowns of what he's accumulated this season. So it'll be a 3rd and 16. South of 11 from the 35-yard line on the Ahuntsic side of the field. Champlain penetrating, but can they make this a lot easier, because you would imagine they might go for it in 4th down if it's close enough. Peterkin pressured, going far side, one-on-one, caught by Reed. 1st down and more at the 6-yard line. The pitch and catch in on play, and Snell in on the tackle for the visitors.
I'll tell you what, the right tackle there for Champlain got away for a bit of a hold there. I saw him grab the shoulder pad of the defensive end who was getting around, and the defensive end, I believe, was number 6 there, Christophe Roy. Guess the officials going to see that one, but a nice throw, an even better catch right there for Peterkin to his longtime friend, Darius Reed, right down the right sideline. Clutch catch right there by the rookie.
BFF's off the field, BFF's on the field. And for Darius Reed, that is catch number 3 on this drive, and his 1st and goal for the Cavaliers from the 6. 10:30 left in this first quarter play. Longo, the second receiver to the left of the formation. Ralph in the backfield. Ahuntsic is packing in with Lyman on the scrimmage. High snap. Ralph bouncing to the left. Ralph in for 6. Champlain off and running. 6-0 lead.
Good job there. Good patience by Ralph. Was looking to go up the middle. Then he took it immediately to the left. Saw a big hole right there. Good blocking downfield by the receivers as well, especially number 19 there, Massimo Longo. He's able to kind of angle his body in the way the defender was trying to get to Ralph. Ralph saw that hole, took it all the way to the end zone. Good aggressive opening drive for a touchdown right there by the Cavs.
In this cat and mouse game, the mouse and Ralph found the hole to freedom and got himself 6. And it is the extra point coming up for Ashton Enfield. And we'll see if the Cavaliers can go up 7-0. Good first drive. They converted on 3rd down. And Ahuntsic have questions to ask going forward here with their defense. And that ball is no good. That kick went wide right, a fluttering kick. And so this keeps it at 6 early on, Brent, and now we will see Ahuntsic's turn on offense.
Exactly. I mean, unfortunately for Champlain this year, the special teams has been a roller coaster to say the least when it comes to the kicker there, Ashton Enfield, number 11. Not trying to miss on purpose, obviously, but again, he's had some kicks. He's missed a lot of kicks, unfortunately. Again, missed a lot of time in this year as well due to injury. So hopefully, as this game goes on, he can find some consistency. But as you talked about, Mo, obviously now it's time for Ahuntsic's turn on offense. We talked about before, right? Pat Gaines going to be the quarterback, leading them onto the field. Again, 3 touchdowns last time these 2 teams met. He's going to look to get himself into rhythm early here in this contest.
And remember, the last home game that they had, as you made the point with Enfield, he had a roller coaster day kicking the football. And that nearly cost the Cavaliers, which they came back from behind to beat Lanaudière on the Saturday night. We'll see if that can change the acoustics here. It is Charles Joly, the receiver on the near side, who's going to return it for the Eagles. And the little switch as Noah Dufal, it appears, number 8, will go towards the near side. Anfield. A high kick, and it will be returned by Joly. And remember, the Cavaliers have had difficulties on coverage on kickoff returns, giving up big chunks of yards, and this time it'll be to the 35. And that's where we'll have the introduction of the quarterback of the hour, and Théo Paquin, who, again, 14 touchdowns, which is nice, but 10 INTs, a little too expensive for the liking of the Ahuntsic offense.
Well, that's exactly it. And so what does that mean? He turns over the ball a lot, right? So if you're Champlain, whether you're going to go for zone, you want it to go man-to-man, you have to maybe even change the look post-snap, right? Maybe line up in a man look and switch the zone or vice versa. He will throw you the ball. You just have to be patient if you're the Cavs. Bringing pressure also is going to help in that department, right? So whether it's Mashawn that's coming off the edge, maybe even sending a blitz, off the edge with one of the linebackers. Either way, try to create some turnovers if you're the Cavaliers defense.
Hot name to watch out, Maxence Volsi, number 16. Here's the first carry up the middle, and a big thud as the carry by Zachary Canuto, the running back, getting his first touch of the day. Over 315 yards rushing this year, 3 touchdowns, and that was a big snap by him.
Yeah, and a big hit. Delivered right there by number 13 in Camden, Jeremiah Francis, laying the lumber right there with that hit. We heard that all the way up here. He had 1 sack in the last meeting.
And he had 5 sacks overall, 8 TFLs, so he's had a wonderful season this year for the Cavaliers. 2nd and 6 from the 41, south of 9 in this first quarter play. 3-pack to the right of Paquin. Blitz again from the Cavaliers, and here is Canuto to the left. And he will drag his way towards the 40. Not much on that play, but a good start for the run defense for the Cavaliers because they got chewed up the last few weeks.
Oh, definitely. They got chewed up last week against Drummondville, right? I mean, this Cavaliers defense, they know they have to come out and stop the run. That was actually going to be one of my keys to the game, right? I mean, stopping the run, they have to do that here this afternoon. And good job right there by number 26, Louis Deschanel, knifing into the backfield and grabbing Canuto, the running back, by the ankles, and he waited for some help to arrive and some good game tackling by the Cavs defense.
36 for Paquin, the offense. Can they keep this drive alive? Paquin looking to the left, going deep. Here's a one-on-one, completed. Easy catch to the 35. First down for Maxime Charkaoui, and he is the biggest target for this team here. Already on 21 catches, over 420 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, and he is a mismatch when you look at his physical dimensions compared to the Cavaliers DBs.
Yeah, it's a 6'5", definitely the tallest receiver on either sideline here this afternoon, and he was able to use that height and his speed as well to create some separation off the line of scrimmage. And a good throw right there by Paquin. Receiver caught that one and is able to fight for a couple extra yards as well.
Shakari will be a mismatch. Almost Goliath versus David look here for the Cavaliers in this scenario. First attempt from the 31 for Ahuntsic. Good start for Paquin. Canuto. And he is brought down for minimal gain as Jacob Diosomina in on the tackle and might have been back to the line of scrimmage at minimum.
Yes, right now the run game struggling to get established right here for Ahuntsic, and credit to the Champlain Cavaliers, right? Their D linemen are occupying O linemen, letting the linebackers come downhill and stop the run. And that works out for the Cavs. I mean, eventually it just keeps on happening, right? You're going to turn the Ahuntsic offense into one-dimensional, pass-happy offense, right? And then if you're the Cavs, you talked about before, right? The quarterback in Paquin, quarterback for the Ahuntsic Eagles, will throw some interceptions. So if you can sit back in the zone and just wait to pick him off, that'll work out well for the Cavs. But it starts with shutting down the run.
2nd and 11 from the 32, 6:45 left in this first quarter play. Play action. Near side. Shakawi again, and he will be brought down just shy of the 20-yard line. And in on the tackle was Elliott Reed, who was holding on for dear life from the waist beyond.
Yeah, good job of holding him down. You saw a big hit there delivered over the top by one of his teammates there. Good catch there by Shakawi, though. A play action fake on that play. So Paquin faked the handoff to his left. He bootlegged to the right and saw the receiver right there in the flats and delivered a nice strike to him, pick up a 7 yards there.
Perhaps this is 2-down territory, 3rd and 3 from the 24. Ahuntsic trying to match the scoreline of 6 produced by the first drive of Champlain. Paquin in a pistol formation, overload to the right. And the Cavaliers trying to hold serve and keep this 4th down and 3. Canuto again to the right. He'll bounce it out. Evades one. And Grimard in on the tackle again, maybe a yard or two at the 21-yard line, and this will bring 4th down, and they're going to bring on the muscle, and in on the field will be Loans Maillard in for this play.
It's a good tackle there by Grimard. Karch had a chance to drop him for a minimal gain there, but running back able to break that tackle, but not the one. And Grimard, good tackle, pushing running back out of bounds.
Maillard, 9 carries, 31 yards this season. And it'll be first down for the Cavaliers, for
Ahuntsic.
Ahuntsic, I beg your pardon. So they did give him the first down, enough for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 20, 5:13 left in this first quarter of play.
This is a missed tackle by Karch there, proves to be even bigger.
And here's Maillard around Captain Francis. He's got a hole, biggest run of the season for him to the left. Bullets his way up ahead, and this will be another first down or second down coming up here. Officially confirmed for the referee, 2nd and 1 here.
Yeah, very missed tackle there by Jeremiah Francis. So 2 missed tackles in a row lead to big plays for the Castle. Pick up at 8 there. Pick up of 8, I should say, by Maynard. And the Cavaliers can't get sloppy. We've seen too many times this season where they've missed some tackles. They started early in this game, earlier in this drive, where they started making a lot of tackles and forcing Ahuntsic to have to go back to the pass. But if the running game starts to work because of missed tackles, you have to imagine the Eagles are going to continue to pound the rock.
2nd and 1 from the 11. Back in, looking towards the end zone, pumping, looking, corner, open, and that is incomplete. Flagging the play. The intended target was Shirkawi, and they'll bring back Canuto in for this next play. But this is going to go against Champlain. And Brent, we talk about the touchy-feely, ticklish moments here for the secondary for Champlain, and they got caught doing so.
Yeah, this appears to be they got too touchy-feely there on that play. So, of course, it is going to go against the Cavs. Obviously, it's penalty, so it should be an automatic first down now for the Ahuntsic offense. And, yeah, if you're Champlain, so 2 things that happened on that play. A, pass interference, but B, there was no pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback had all day to throw. For the Cavs, you can't let that happen. Luckily, the pass wasn't caught for a touchdown, but again, it resulted in the PI, at least the play did, right? So you have to get some pressure on this quarterback.
And Ahuntsic showing their flexibility on offense with a run and pass. 1st and goal from the 6, 4:15 left in this first quarter play. Fast-moving first quarter. We'll be home by 3 o'clock at this rate. Paquin's got a 4-pack to his left. Shirkawi is the second receiver on that side of the formation. He's been the hot hand for Paquin. Handoff. Canuto up the guts, and he is going to be short of the end zone, and this will be 2nd and goal coming up.
Good job there by the D-liner crashing down an A-gap on both sides of the center. So a 5-yard gain there on that play on first down. So now it's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 1 here. And
for the Egg, no changes of roster personnel. Same for the Cavaliers. 3:25 left in this first quarter. 2nd and about a football size towards the end zone.
Yeah, 2nd and goal from the 1.
I know. That is a glove flying out. That was the football. And right now it'll be 2nd and goal for Paquin. Here's Canuto, and he will get the 6. Tie game, 3:09 left, and Ahuntsic comes back with an ace on their opening drive here from Seaway 3.
Yeah, really a great opening drive by Ahuntsic, right? Like we said, they mixed in the pass, they mixed in the run, and the good thing about them is they struggle to get the run going the first half of this drive, right? But they kept with it, and that's what you have to do. Good football teams try to create balance on offense, and that's what Ahuntsic did right there, similar to what the Cavs did on their offensive drive. So right now, the Cavs punched first. They laid a big blow to Ahuntsic. Ahuntsic answered right back. We'll see what happens after this extra point. It's either going to be a 6-6 game or a 7-6 game in favor of the Eagles. But what matters most is what do the Cavs do now when they come out on the next offensive drive.
And LeBlanc, the hold, and the kick is better than what it was for Champlain. 7-6 lead. So Champlain work to do. They're down by 1, but realistically speaking here, they have to make up that 1-point loss at some point if they end up scoring more than what they currently have. 7-6 lead for Ahuntsic over Champlain. 3:09 left in this first quarter. Played Brent Bach and Mo Khan on an overcast Sunday. And the Cavaliers and Ahuntsic, right now, if you're a betting man, might be going on the over in the total points by the way these first 2 drives have developed.
And it's exactly that. And that's the defense right now appearing like they could stop their respective opponents offensively, right? So, I mean, again, both teams missing in the run, missing in the pass. Could be an explosive game right here. Could be a barn burner in terms of offensive scoring. We have to see how this one plays out. The weather's getting a little cool outside, so you have to imagine the run game is is going to be one of the main focuses of this game for both sides.
Both teams combined for nearly 400 points total on offense this season. So the lack of offense may be nowhere to be found here on this field today. LeBlanc set to kick this ball off. Reed on the far side, Longo on the near side. And they'll go to Reed on the one hop from his own 20. Reed dancing, and he'll jog out of bounds. And Emerson Peterkin will come back out there. Solid start for him. Ralph on the touchdown, had a couple of completions. And we'll see how this plays out. And as you said before, Brett, it might be the Ahuntsic front four that will be the determining factor whether or not the team in white wins or loses against a very dynamic quarterback in Emerson Peterkin.
And that's exactly it. I mean, I talked about it before, right? Guys like Christophe Roy, there's Jonathan Niembui, Antoine Wade, Sylvestre. These are some big boys up front for this defensive line for Ahuntsic. Thomas Demore as well. These big guys, about 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
And being subbed off is Miguel Martinez. There's a bit of an issue with his equipment, so coming on for the Cavaliers will be Luca Vendito. And he'll get the call from Jalen Clark. 1st and 10 from the 28 for the Cavaliers. And they'll take the delay of game call. And they'll move him back 5. So a bit of personnel issues. That was equipment malfunction. And now it will be Martinez coming back on. So a quick cameo, exit stage left for Vendito as Martinez comes back in.
Yeah, Vendito 1 catch for 6 yards last time these two teams met. Obviously, the coach staff wanted to see what they have right now. And Miguel Martinez, like I said, number 80, checking himself back into the game after that penalty. So time count violation going against the Cavs makes it 1st and 15 now instead of 1st and 10.
Now from the 27-yard line, 1st and 15 for the Cavaliers. Blitz from the middle. Peterkin stepping, going. Far side, Reed completes inside the plus territory as he used the forensic fingertips around Snell for the catch. And for Darius Reed, he's had a wonderful start to this game.
And I'm not sure how that wasn't PI against Snell. Snell got his hands all over Reed, ended up turning around at one point. He did, I guess, try to make a play on the ball. He did get his body around at the last second, but before that, there's definitely at least a hold there. But again, great concentration, great catch by Reed.
1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 53-yard line. You talk about the dip in trajectory on that ball. It went perfect into the fingertips of Darius Reed. 3-pack to the left of Peterkin. 7 in the box for, making 8 in the box now for Ahuntsic. Peterkin over the middle. Longo's first catch of the day. And he'll be down because the knee was down at the 38. Otherwise, had he kept on going, he might have gone another 10 to 12 more yards.
And definitely good strike right there by Peterkin to Longo. Longo found an opening in the zone, got behind the linebackers in front of the safeties right there. Big catch by him.
Catch 26 for him. Great swivel in his ability to make players miss in the open field. And with the minute 30 left, it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 39 of the Ahuntsic side of the field. So both offenses in rhythm, going towards playoff football next week in November. Peterkin, a deep breath, a minute 10 left. Blitz in the middle, and Ralph makes not one but 2 miss, but in on the scoop was Roy, as Ralph was able to get maybe a yard out of it.
So either Noah Dufour, number 8, the linebacker, has the greatest timing and snap anticipation in the world, or he went offside right there, because I can tell you, as soon as the ball was snapped, he was already in between the right guard and the center.
Well, 3 sacks his name, 5 TFLs, 26.5 tackles this year for the linebacker. And so no gain, 2nd and 10 from the 39, 35 seconds left in this first quarter. Longo, Reed, so far the main producers, the main supply line. And this is going to be early movement on Ahuntsic or on Champlain. As Guillaume Perrier making the call on the sideline, and this will be against Ahuntsic. So if Champlain get 5 free yards, it'll be 2nd and 5 coming up from the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be against number 58 there, Patrice Christophe. He definitely went outside. He fell for the hard count right there. So free 5 yards for Champlain. Making the 2nd and 5 now.
Champlain trying to punish the Ahuntsic Eagles. 2nd and 5 from the 34. 20 seconds and counting left in this first quarter from Seaway. Blitz again. Peterkin stepping up, and he is looking, and he will take off towards the 30, towards the far sideline, bouncing out towards the 25, as he was a skier out there sloping his way through, and there's a flag at the 10-yard line in the back end of the Ahuntsic side of the field.
It's a good scramble there by Peterkin. We'll have to see what the result of this call is, though. It looks like, yes, it's going to go against the Cavs.
And you saw the sticks move back. So Champlain will be moving back, so that will be all for naught. So it'll be roughing on the Cavaliers, so a bad penalty to take for Champlain as they were moving along, gliding along. And this will be from the 40-yard line. It'll be first down confirmed, albeit though from the 40 instead.
Yeah, so that's an undisciplined penalty right there by the Cavs. Again, luckily though for them, it did happen after the play was over. So the first down is going to stand here for Champlain. But you have to imagine head coach Sean Main is unhappy with his team for taking that bad penalty right there after the play.
1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. Last play, unless there's a penalty on the situation now. Gonzalez, the receiver to the near left, 4-pack to that side of the field. Peterkin has time. Stepping up, has real estate, and away he goes. And away he goes towards the far side, brought down to 25 as his best friend in Noah Dufour in on the tackle. And that went from nothing to something for the Cavaliers. At the end of the first quarter play, we go to quarter number 2, 7-6 lead for Ahuntsic, Brent. And for Shaw Main, he can be content, but again, some frustrating penalties going against his team so far.
Yeah, frustrating penalties, especially again, you had a previous play, right, with the run by Peterkin, not this one, but the one before, right, where it would have been maybe 20 to 22 yards at the most of the end zone. Now you take that penalty, you're back at the 40-yard line, so 40 yards to go to making the end zone. Good scramble, though, by the quarterback, so now he cut most of that deficit in half, so they're at the 25-yard line, so about 25 yards now to the end zone for the Champlain offense. A good scramble, second one in a row there by Peterkin. You talked about the tackle made by Noah Dufour, number 8. That was a potential touchdown-saving tackle right there in the open field by Dufour.
And for Remy Giguère, the first-year head coach for Ahuntsic by way of Université de Montréal. And he'll be content with this start on the offensive side of the football, but right now his defense lacking a bit of substance going into quarter number 2. Peterkin. Handoff, Ralph up the middle, and he got bulldozed by Mayan Kens, and this will bring up a second down for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, there was a big hole right there for Ralph to go through. He saw it. He went right towards it up the middle, but again, good reaction. Good really react there by the Ahuntsic defense. Those guys crashing that hole, crashing that gap.
Ralph, a big figure in the offense this year in his last regular season home game. Could be a home game next week. As is for Emerson Peterkin as well. They would love to end off their regular season campaign with a home win to go 6-2, which could be enough for the number 2 spot in the playoff side of the bracket. Peterkin dancing, flag. And this might be all for naught as Peterkin will run out of bounds, knowing that there's an injury in the field for Ahuntsic. And Baptiste Odoué is in at the offensive line for the Cavaliers. But again, a big concern for the Egg as one of their D linemen is on the ground. But again, the Cavaliers will be called for holding, and they will be moving back by 10 and become 2nd and 15 from the 30.
Yeah, I think that's number 93, Antoine Wade Sylvester, who's down on the field, writhing in pain. Yeah, there's going to be a holding call going against the Cavs, unfortunately for them. So 10 yards back now for the Cavaliers offense. It was 2nd and 5. That's going to make it 2nd and 15 here. It's going to be at the 30-yard line.
13:45 left in this first half. 7-6 lead for Ahuntsic. As we said before, a win by Champlain would put them at 6-2 until they know the final score of Outaouais and Victoriaville. If Outaouais were to be Victoriaville and Champlain were to win today, they will be your 2 seed. If there's a 3-way tie, Champlain will be your 3 seed. And if Ahuntsic were to win by 18 points or more, Champlain will be your 4 seed. So Sylvestre is going to get off the field for the minimum time off, as he's able to go off on his own power as they brought in some reinforcements to help out. if he wasn't able to do so. I thought those two guys were there for you, Brett, to carry you back to your car.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Shocked at you. Lacking the steps in your Fitbit today, I
As
see.
soon as I get back to my car, you make sure the heat is on in my car, sir.
So Sylvestre is off for now, and we'll see if he will reappear later on. So Baptiste Audoin is now the left guard on the offensive line. So Champlain running on fumes on the depth chart of available healthy bodies. 2nd and 15 from the 30. 13:44 left in this opening half of play. Around from the backfield, 2 to the left of Peterkin. Low snap, looking towards the left, firing towards the left. Here's an opening, and there's the catch. Touchdown, Champlain. Peterkin, the touchdown creator. Reed, the touchdown maker. Champlain up 12-7.
And you see the look, the body expressions by the members of the secondary for Ahuntsic. They're looking at each other like, I can't believe that this happened. I think that's Raphael Corbet who just got blown by in coverage right there by Reed. Again, that's the speed that Reed brings to this lineup. Wide open for the touchdown. Doesn't get much easier than that.
And that is definitely a mood changer for the Cavaliers. And Mr. Popular, Emerson Peterkin, finding the next popular figure in Darius Reed. And the Cavaliers up by 5 with 13:26 left in this half. And the Cavaliers, it appears, will keep the offense on, Brent. They will have the offense on now with them going with a 4-by-2 look or 4-by-1 look on the receiving formation. So Champlain trying to catch up on points and hoping to make it up on this 2-point convert if they hit. Peterkin stepping, Peterkin dancing, Peterkin, and he will dive in for 2. He was in a cul-de-sac and somehow was able to smooth his way through and come in for the goods. And Champlain now making up the lost points, up by 7.
And you can see it's as if that play was in slow motion. Reed gets the football, he gets to the top of his drop, took a look to his left, took a look to his right, saw nothing right away, decided to run up the middle. He realizes he's getting close to the goal line. You see 2 defenders right there, and it's as if time just stopped there momentarily. He's like, what do I need to do right here? Can I try to split these guys, or do I need to try to go to the left or to the right? He decided to go to the right, realizes how close he was to the goal line. The last second just dove forward, extended his arms, and the ball cracked that goal line. Good for the 2-point convo.
And with that, Champlain back up by 7, and Ahuntsic chasing this game once again down by that current scoreline with 13:26 left in this first half of play. Brent Bach and Mo Khan. And you have to wonder, Brent, for the mental state of Ashton Enfield because of the fact he missed that extra point. And where is his mindset if he has to be relied upon for a kick at a crucial moment? Returnable for Ahuntsic, and here is Joly on the bounce, live ball, and he was able to scoop that up. It was a heart and mouth moment for him as he was able to twist and turn towards the 27-yard line for the egg.
I tell you what, you have to be good to be lucky, and lucky to be good right there. And Joly was both on that play. He looked like he was indecisive, right? He's waiting for the bounces to stop him to make sure he could secure the ball. He would have been better off just diving on the ball, to be honest, at that point, because he tried to pick it up. It was still rolling a little bit, and he almost fumbled that ball. Sometimes just dive on the ball and live to fight another play. Luckily for him, though, he's able to secure it properly and not fumble. And his offense is going to come out to the field instead of his defense having to come on right here.
First and 10 for Le Egg from the 27-yard line. We talk about the big man, Shakawi. He has been captain destruction for the Eagles offense against Champlain. Paquet, looking to his left, going deep. He's got a man, Joly in, incomplete. And in on the coverage for the Cavaliers was Karch, but he was a bit off balance as Joly had to step on him.
I'll tell you what, Karch is a little lucky right there. He bumped the receiver while the ball was still in the air. And we see that receiver right now in Joly. He's coming out. Yeah, he's hurt. He's actually going to stay on the field now and just take a knee. There's definitely contact made between him and Karch. I think Joly just came down a little awkwardly right there, which is why he's injured.
So Joly will take a breather here as his shoulder is being looked at, as Paquin will make a jog back towards Remy Giguère and his team to look over the options to have. And coming into the game is number 19 for Ahuntsic and Cedric Drouin, who will come in for this next play. So Drouin in for Ahuntsic. We'll see what he can do for this next play coming up here for Drouin. Only 1 tackle, and that was on special teams this year. Jolie will be brought off the field now.
Yes, that's definitely a loss for this offense. He's at 5 catches, 120 yards. Had 1 catch for 11 yards last time these two teams met. So I have to see how long he'll be out of this game for.
Second and 10.
Make his way to the sideline gingerly as well.
Second and 10 for L'Aigle. Chirkawi, the second receiver to the left, and he's being watched by Grimard, the DB for the Cavaliers. Champlain going to a man-to-man look. Here's a handoff. Canuto going to the right, going width-wise, still going to the width, and will get about 2-3 yards on the play as he kept on going east, and then only got 2 on that play.
And he's hurt now as well, Canuto. He got up, he tried to pop back up. He had a limp, and now he's down on 1 knee as well. So back-to-back plays, back-to-back injuries right now for this Ahuntsic Eagles team.
So the war of attrition picking up on Ahuntsic in this first half. They're all going to the playoffs, but the question now for Ahuntsic is where will they finish? Because they have a chance to get to the 3 seed if they beat Champlain by 18 points or more. But for the Cavaliers, they got some bigger fish themselves, knowing that they could get the 2 seed if it falls their way, if they win plus a Victoriaville loss.
Yeah, that's it right now. Obviously, right now, like I said, at the same time, 1 o'clock kickoff for this game. Also, the 1 o'clock kickoff for, 4 o'clock, I should say, later this afternoon. My apologies, for Victoriaville at Outaouais. Obviously, right now, like I said, when you're looking at the tiebreakers, right, the Cavs could finish second if they win here today against Ahuntsic, and Outaouais knocks off Victoriaville. Of course, Champlain beating Victoriaville by 10 earlier this season.
3rd and 6 for Ahuntsic. As Canuto will go off, and they'll bring on the next running back available for them on a 3rd and 6 and a 14-7 lead for Champlain from Seaway 3. Blitz from the Champlain Cavaliers. Paquet looking for the screen. Does not find it. Incomplete. Intended for Felix Brunel. And for Brunel, that would have been his first touch of the ball, rush or catch. But it comes up empty, and the punt team comes on for Ahuntsic.
Yeah, I tell you what, the screen was intended for Felix Brunel, but it looked like it was a pass to Ryan Aguilar, the middle linebacker. If that ball was about a foot or two higher than what it was, it could have been a pick 6 by the big man, Ogello.
So Jello almost had that, and for the Cavaliers, trying to get themselves back on even terms of their offense, which they did do so on the 2-point convert, and a chance to maybe go up by 2 scores, as Grimard is the returner at his own 46-yard line. LeBlanc, the punter, from his own 17.5-yard line or so, win at a standstill. And he could get off a good one here if he gets good boot to leather contact. Grimard tracking it from his own 40. On his left hand, Grimard going back to the left side, and he will get towards the 49-yard line, just shy of the 50. And Champlain back in offense, Brandon, a chance to maybe go up 2 scores.
That's exactly it. Listen, their defense made a stand. They forced a punt, so the defense did their part. Now let's see if the Champlain offense could do theirs. We talked about the last offensive score there for Champlain, a blown coverage by Corbett, defensive back for Ahuntsic. That worked out well for Darius Reed, who was wide open for a touchdown. Let's see now if Champlain can build off of that and take a commanding 2-touchdown lead in this game.
Champlain recognizing Emerson Peterkin's hallmark moments of 50 career touchdown passes and over 5,000 career passing yards himself as well. So 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. A high-profile player in Emerson Peterkin trying to end off his home season on a strong note. Another whistle as the head referee will make his way towards the scorekeeper's table. And there might be a scoreboard issue. And the clock now rolling, as that was the issue. The clock was not rolling on time. South of 11 in this first half. Champlain 14, Ahuntsic 7. Peterkin try to engineer another draft of points, perhaps. Ralph. And he will get 2 yards, maybe 3 on the play. Second down coming up.
And that's all right. A couple of yards wasn't for a loss, right? You get a couple of yards there, keep the feet moving. Good job by the Ahuntsic front seven there of eliminating the gain there by Ralph. But hey, it's still a pick up of 4, right? So now 2nd and 6. You can go back to the run here on 2nd down. You can look to pass. You have a couple of different options right here on 2nd and medium.
Just shy of the midfield stripe. 2nd and 6. 10-15 left in this first half of play. Champlain trying to massage their way through and get themselves some more points, make it a 2-score game before Ahuntsic gets the next possession on offense. Tight end to the left, on the right now, I beg your pardon, for the Cavaliers. Peterkin stepping up, surveying, looking, directing, waiting, looking, taking off, sliding into the 48.5-yard line, and this will be a first down for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, good run right. So we saw Peterkin rolling out. He was waiting for something to develop downfield. He did have Darius Reed on a crosser, but there was a linebacker kind of right in his back pocket. So good decision right there by Peterkin. Decided at the last second, okay, you know what? I don't like exactly what I'm seeing here. Let me stick to the run, pick up the first down, and extend the drive for my team, not putting the ball in harm's way.
Peterkin crumpling his way towards the 48. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers with 9:21 left in this first half. 7 in the box for Ahuntsic, and they come again. Ralph will go again. To the left he is. To the 35 he goes. Going, gone. Touchdown Champlain. 20-7 lead.
Great run,
an injured Ahuntsic player on the field as well, Brent.
Oh, yeah. Oof, hate to see that. I don't know who it is. I can't see his number, but he is definitely in some pain. A good, going back to the touchdown, though. Great run there by Ralph. Saw that opening, saw that hole, and ran all the way to daylight. And I'll tell you what, he's not going to get any stats for that play, but the big man, the left tackle, Jonah Edgehill, he's the one who provided that hole. He took that defensive end, who was kind of in that C gap, turned him outside, and provided a huge hole for Ralph to run through.
And another down Ahuntsic Eagle on the pitch. And they have lost 3 bodies in the span of 4 or 5 minutes of game time. And they can ill afford to lose going towards playoffs, Brent. Because
that's it.
Depth is a key once you hit November playoffs for Sage Up football.
Well, that's exactly it, right? Depth is an issue, no matter what time of year, but especially coming towards the postseason, right? You want to be as healthy as you can. And obviously, you talked about the war of attrition. Going through preseason, training camp, practices during the season, regular season, of course, there's going to be injuries, right? It's I think, impossible to go through an entire football season and not have somebody injured. The Cavaliers are a perfect case of that, right? A lot of guys not in the lineup today due to injury. Same thing for Ahuntsic, right? But again, you get towards the playoffs, and it's just how many healthy or healthy-ish bodies do you have, right? Because the playoffs, that's the real season. That's what the players, do all the training for, right? So all the off-season workouts, all the meetings during the season, all the time in the weight room, right? That's what it's for, to make the playoffs and try to win a championship. You try to get into those playoffs, try to get to that postseason as healthy as you can. And right now, Ahuntsic, that looks like it's going to be a problem here this afternoon.
Last visit for Ahuntsic here at Seaway 3 was in 2021 when they lost to Thurler 37-35, where they made a near comeback when they were down by 14 with 3 minutes to go and nearly got it on the Hail Mary pass back in 2021. But right now for Ahuntsic, the current day version of that team from 4 years ago. And the concern is that the player who we can't see the number yet will require additional help being ushered off the field.
Yeah, we see some coaches coming onto the field as well with the 2 athletic trainers. The player's sitting up though, and they're taking his helmet away, so that's never entirely a good sign. Now finally being helped up.
And that is number 12 in Raphael Corbet.
Yep.
And he's holding his arm, so his day might be done, Brent. And unfortunately for him, that's a big loss for the secondary for this Ahuntsic team. Corbet, 30 tackles, 1 sack, 2 INTs, 3 TFLs. And when you lose that type of production at this point of the season, you hope it's only for the game that he's out, and then hopefully he'll be back. But by the way he's holding his forearm, it might be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, he's holding his right forearm there. That's never anything you want to see. See, hey, the coach is not coming over to him, giving him a little pat of confidence there. Yeah, you hate to see that, but unfortunately that's what it is, right? Football's a physical game. And this is what happens sometimes, injuries. And now, so important play right here on special teams, Mo. Ashton Enfield coming on and going to go for the one-point conversion here. Let's see if he can redeem himself after missing the one-point conversion on the first touchdown by Champlain.
Tessa Fiber. And that time, smooth. Champlain up 21-7, 9:04 left. And that run by young number 20, Jaden Ralph, was spectacular. It was fizzing, and he got himself the goods. And for Jaden Ralph, he's now over 700, and he is not too far away from 800 for the season. Brent could get it today if he gets a few more of those type of runs.
But that's exactly it. I mean, he came into this game, right, with 678 yards. So I think it's pretty safe to say, especially after that touchdown, that he's surpassed 700 yards rushing for the season. But, yeah, 800 is definitely within reach. And like you said, if he has a couple more of those big runs like he's had so far this afternoon, he could top 800, dare I say even 825, 850.
And for those who have been in fantasy football today, you're off to a strong start. 2 touchdowns for Jaden Ralph.
And the run game's an issue, right, for Ahuntsic. You go back to the game last week. They beat Lanaudière, but they gave up to Olivier Brulette 17 carries for 199 yards last week. So Brulette, the running back for Lano, averaged 12 yards a pop. Right now, Ralph is well on his way to possibly being another 200-yard back against this Ahuntsic defense.
Good news, Jolie back in on the return and back in the game. Jolie, and he is met by the coverage team of Champlain. Machon's in on the tackle. And for Paquet in this offense, we've not seen much beyond Shirkawi in terms of the explosive ability, but they would have to hope to get some more from the ground game to get some big chunk of yards.
That's exactly it. I mean, again, the ground game, though, like we said, it came alive at the tail end of that offensive drive for Ahuntsic. So, again, that's something that they have to keep in mind here, something that the Cavs definitely have to keep in mind. But Ahuntsic, they can't forget about how successful their running game was at the end of that drive, where they were able to use it to help get some points, right? So, again, like I said, you want to maintain that offensive balance for your Ahuntsic. Let's see if they can do that here on this drive.
From the 35, 1st and 10 for Ahuntsic. 8:43 left in this first half. 21-7 lead for the home side. Paquin looking, floating, and Shirkawi, easy catch for him. And he got hit by Grimard, shoulder to helmet. And this will be an additional yards on the play.
I don't agree with that call. I don't agree with that call at all. Guillaume Robert there making the call. Silent defensive back actually for U of M. That hit was up high, but it was in the chest of the receiver. It was not in the face. It was not in the head area. It was right in the chest of the receiver.
So with that, the high tariff added to the catch, and this will put Ahuntsic in the plus territory at the 46-yard line officially.
You can see the Cavaliers, the coaches on the sideline saying the receiver's 6'3". We couldn't hit him that high in the head. I mean, not obviously the guy who laid the hit, Grimard, he's kind of tall himself there. But, I mean, again, that hit was in the chest area, the upper chest area of the receiver.
1st and 10 again for the Cavaliers. This is for the Ahuntsic Eagles. First carry of the day for Lefebvre. And Lefebvre will get about 5 strong yards on that play to the 45.
Yeah, good little carry there by Lefebvre. Just going at the middle, decided to take the ball to the right. Look what he saw there. Had 30 yards on 6 carries last time these two teams met. He has 2 touchdowns this season as well for Ahuntsic. So good stable running backs here. It was as you saw earlier on our last offensive drive, Kunudu got hurt for Ahuntsic. So again, turning to guys like Lefebvre, like Jobin, Maynard, who we saw earlier, Brunel as well, right? It's going to have to be a running back by committee approach possibly for the rest of this game for Ahuntsic.
2nd and 4 from the 40. Paquet looking towards the left, locking, loading, firing, step ahead, and incomplete. Intended for Volsi. Maxence Volsi was the intended target. Coming into the game, 16 catches, but they'll go incomplete on that. 3rd down here for the Eagles.
Yeah, this is a bad throw right there by Paquet. Volsi was open. Volsi had at least 2 or 3 steps on the defender, but it's on Paquet to hit him, and he just wasn't able to.
And they'll bring on Baptiste Audoin in for this short yardage situation. 3rd and 5, fresh legs late in this first half. Ahuntsic trying to show a bit more ambition with the capital A to it. Down by 2 scores, knowing that if they win today by 18 or more, they get 3rd. But right now, they just want to get points. Down by 14. A 4-pack to the left. Here is the hitch screen. That is caught down the near sideline. Open space to work with. Out of bounds. And a big catch and run for Benoit Maillard as Maynard getting the first catch of the day, 15 coming into this game, and a big play for Ahuntsic's offense.
That's a big third down conversion right there for Ahuntsic. And you can see that happening right away. Like I said, it was 4-pack to receivers to the left-hand side right near us. Saw Maynard went to the back of that 4-pack, and you saw right away a screen was developing. Even the coaches were yelling it for the Cavs here on the sideline. Just a missed tackle, though, unfortunately, for Champlain. Led to a big gain right there by the receiver in Maynard.
So Maynard getting his first catch of the day, and that puts them now close enough towards the red zone from the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 with 6:15 left in this first half. Motion man is Avail, and now rolling to his right, firing. Paquet, overlap, off the helmet, picked off. Sometimes you got to use your head, and it worked out well for the Cavaliers. It went off of Marchand's head and right into the hands of the DB. Champlain getting the INT courtesy of Elliott Reed. And for Reed, his first INT of the season.
So yeah, like I said, that's using your head right there. Number 29 there was in coverage. And Declan Carrs, the ball went off the back of his head. We saw the interception made right there by Reed. Hey, if you're Champlain, you'll take it any way you can. Like we talked about at the top, right? 10 interceptions for Paquet. That makes it number 11. Doesn't matter how you get them. They all count. Good job there of using the head. And good job being alert by the Cavs defense.
Well, Champlain disarms that drive for Ahuntsic, and now they get the ball back. And can they punish Ahuntsic on that miscue for points to maybe go up by 3 scores late in this first half? From the 17, the worst starting field position for the Cavaliers this afternoon. Defense coming up. And can the Cavs cash in? Longo turning towards the first down marker and more, and out of bounds at the 38-yard line or so. And Champlain is humming along here, Brent, in this first half. It's been eye of the needle stuff from the Cavaliers offense today.
Oh, definitely. Good throw right there by Peterkin right away. Saw Longo sitting in that zone. A good job by Longo, not breaking one, not breaking two. That's right, not breaking one, but 2 tackles right there. Picked up some good yak yards as well to make sure he and his team get a first down.
5:14 and counting in this first half of play. The jewels have been bright and beautiful for the Cavaliers. Longo, Reed, Ralph, and Peterkin. The 4-headed attack, the 4 horsemen. Quick hit. Longo, flag from the 40. And what will this call be?
It's not going to be holding and roughing the passer.
It'll be against Ahuntsic, and they will add on more yards in a first down given to the Cavaliers.
Yeah. And that's Ahuntsic right there we talked about earlier, right? He's got to be taking all those penalties. And a big penalty right there. So the catch right there by, I believe it was Longo that made that grab. That wasn't going to be enough for the first down. It was going to probably be about 2nd and about 5, maybe at the most 2nd and 4, right? And you take the roughing the passer penalty, an extra 15 yards given to your opponents. And the ball's right at midfield.
And they will be at the 55 with less than 5 to go. And Champlain, their tails are up. They're hunting and hounding. And it's a big wobble at the knees for Ahuntsic's defense, trying to hold on for dear life. Ralph, another run. To the 50 he goes. About 5 in the play, and this will be 2nd down for the Cavs.
Good hard run right there by Ralph, right up the middle, right up the gut. There's no fooling around when it comes to that, right? Right between the tackles, you try to move the pile a little bit. He was able to drag a couple of guys with him. Only a pickup of 5, but now again, this sets up 2nd and 5, right? 2nd and medium here. So a ton of options available for Champlain. I would like to see a screen pass being called here because we see, obviously, there's been a couple of passes at least to start the drive for the Cavs. What that says to the D-line, okay, we can pin our ears back a bit. You throw a screen at an aggressive defensive line like Ahuntsic has here, that can really burn them.
2nd and 10, 2nd and 5 for the Cavaliers. Peterkin going deep middle. Longo, acrobatic and emphatic first down for the Cavaliers at the 26.
Yes, we saw Ahuntsic, they sent the blitz. I talked about them being aggressive, right? Champlain saw that right away. Quick 2-3 step drop there by the quarterback, and Peterkin delivered a strike. The only thing I would have liked to see is that the ball was thrown to the right of the receiver, because Longo, great catch by him, great concentration. That ball was to his left. He kind of had to turn his body, which is hard to do, and make the catch kind of in the middle of his route. But again, great clutch catch right there by Longo. Solid drive by him so far.
1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 27 officially. Cavaliers looking like a Ferrari, just gliding along the highway. Swing pass. Ralph bobbles it, and he will get devoured, and his knee got twisted, but thankfully he's okay. Brought down by Malik Bedal, and a second down coming up here for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, lost a 2 on that play right there. It's just the pass came in a little too hot, and it was a little bit behind Ralph, where he had to readjust himself, kind of bobbling in a bit. And as you said, he did get twisted. Luckily, no lower body injury right there, but a loss of 2 on the play.
And this will be the last play before the 3-minute warning. Champlain marching along. Wobbles for Ahunsic's defense, trying to get out of this drought and get themselves back in this game. Can they get a turnover now? Peterkin going, open, Reed, in stride, out of bounds at the 2, and pushed out by Corshane. And this will be a 1st and goal for the Cavaliers at the 3-minute warning. Champlain 21, Ahuntsic 7. The Cavaliers are rolling, and they want to add on more points late in this first half.
As we see right there, we talked earlier, right, about the injury by Raphael Corbet, number 12. He's usually the corner that's been covering Darius Reed in this contest, but now we've seen number 25, Mateo Pigeon Korshaner, in coverage, and he was nowhere close to Ralph. I mean, he's able to get the tackle, to Reed. He's able to tackle him to push him out just before reaching the goal line there. But again, Reed has been giving this defensive secondary for Ahuntsic all sorts of problems here this afternoon.
And this could be a real genuine uppercut here from the Cavaliers offense, Brent. If they do score 7 now, to go up 28-7 before halftime, if there's no reply by Ahuntsic, could definitely put this game maybe out of reach at halftime.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, again, like you said, halftime is coming up, right? So it's time for both teams, and specifically Ahuntsic, to go into the locker room or stand on the sideline if they choose to, and just kind of regroup, right? Because, I mean, right now they've gotten a couple punches to the stomach, they got a couple punches to the mouth, right? And they've been staggering ever since. So this break can come at a perfect time or a better time for Ahuntsic. But right now, before you get to that break, you have to try and hold Champlain to a field goal here. It's easier to come back from a 24-7 deficit than it is 28-7. If you're the Cavs, keep your foot on the throat of your opponents right here. Get the ball in the end zone.
Aaron Keese in the game for the first time for the Cavaliers from the 2-yard line. And here is Keese. Keese, nowhere to go. Did not show the extra surge in his legs, and he was a bit frustrated about that. And this will bring up a 2nd and goal for the Cavaliers.
It's been a long time since you've seen Keese here. I see where he's been injured for the last couple of games. Nice to see him back. And we talked earlier about depth, right, for Ahuntsic. Champlain's going to need that depth as well, right? Aaron Keese is definitely a hard runner. He's been one of the real good foot soldiers here the last couple of years. He's able to pass protect. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can run the ball hard as well. But again, that play got stumped out right away. The blocking has to be a little bit better up front there for Keese and his offense.
Front four stiffened up for Ahuntsic. 2nd and goal, clock is rolling. Less than 90 seconds left in this first half. On the rollout is Peterkin. Looking, and he'll throw that ball away. The pressure coming in from Lavoie.
Smart play right there. Veteran savvy shown by Peterkin. We all know how talented he is. Sometimes we've seen Peterkin in the past, even this early in the season, right? He'll throw that ball. He'll try to fit it in the window, try to get it in and get it in there to a receiver. Smart play right there. Don't risk it. Still 3rd and 4, right? Or 3rd and goal, I believe, actually, right now. So you still have a chance, 3rd and goal to get a touchdown here. But do not force the ball. Do not get a turnover right here. Lead the player another down. That's what Peterkin did right there.
You can see Aaron Keese still dejected on that last call that he had on the run play where he got stuffed at the 2, a loss of 1, in fact, on that play. And a 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Champlain going backwards. They've lost 2 on this drive in the last couple of plays. Ralph is back in at the RB position. Peterkin, play action, stepping up, looking, waiting, throwing, open, Clark, touchdown. And Jalen Clark, I beg your pardon, say that 10 times. Jalen Clark, as my mouth is frozen shut, making his 6th touchdown grab of the year, and Champlain up 27-7.
Yeah, good play there by Peterkin, climbing the pocket there. Good job at the O-line, too, giving him some time. Peterkin didn't like what he saw. He was scrambling a bit to the right, and saw Clark there on the shallow crosser, delivered a bullet. Good job by the quarterback, and even better job by the receiver hanging on to the ball and making the touchdown.
And Champlain, as Brent Buck almost crushed his head out. It is a cold day today.
I provided my cameraman with a jacket. Nothing wrong with that.
Brett, you could have given your jackets.
I mean, you could have given yours just standing next to him.
I'm working
You're
right
closer.
now. I'm working right now, you know.
Extra point is good there by Enfield.
And with that, 28-7 lead for the Cavaliers, and they are coasting towards halftime with a high lead of 28-7. And right now, it has been an A-plus effort, a 5-star performance from the Champlain offense. But right now, it's been a 2-star effort from Ahuntsic. Brent, they have to get going here late in this first half. Can they get points with a minute 14 left to go in this first half?
I mean, it's not impossible with a minute 14 left. There still is time, but like we saw on the drive where they did score, they were able to able to connect, I should say, pardon me, on the downfield passing. They're going to have to do that here if they want to get some points before the half. And who does that start with? Obviously, I mean, you look at their big play receivers, right? We talked about them, Sharkawi, Volsi, guys with some size. Guys with some size and with some speed. They're going to have to get the ball, in their hands quickly here.
Long range Jolie, and a big part of that is now number 43 in Cossette, who will bring it back going to the width of the pitch. Going, and he is brought down, flagging the play, as it might be a call against Justin Lefebvre, as he knocked over Martinez. Ahuntsic might be moving back a little bit towards their end zone than away from it.
Yeah, so again, this is football, right? You got to make a play. Who's going to make a play? If you're Ahuntsic, who can make a play here? Again, you're down by 3 touchdowns. You want to go into the half and a perfect roll, only down by 2. Or at the very least, you get a little closer, you get a field goal, but you have to be in position to try either one of those, either get a touchdown or get a field goal, right? So who for Ahuntsic can step up and make a play? And if you're for the Cavs, again, we talked about the INTs, last offensive drive by Ahuntsic and an interception, right? So if you're the Cavs, you have a chance to add another one and maybe even get the ball back and extend your lead here with 1:05 remaining in the first half. So who's going to make a play for either side? Let's find out.
28-7 from the 4-yard line. Paquin looking to get going here. Could this be a fairy tale comeback for Ahuntsic? Down by a score of 21 late in this first half. Blitz from the middle. Paquin's got time. And he evades the rush. And he will take off. And he'll get some strong yards on that run. And will be more than enough for a first down for Ahuntsic.
Yeah, good run there by the quarterback. Didn't like what he saw downfield. Obviously, the Cavs playing prevent defense here. They're lining up before the snap with one safety, and then they're dropping at least 2 or 3 guys back, shifting between a cover 2 and cover 3 here. So the quarterback had nothing to throw too deep, and that's what you want to do for the Cavs. You take away any deep options, you'll give up that quarterback run every day of the week.
44 seconds and rolling. Second and down or first down. It should be a first down, I believe, Brent, but I see the sticks not moved up yet. Paquin. Again, Tom, looking for the screen, doesn't get it, and he is going to get away from the sack. And still going. The spin cycle comes up clean for Paquin, and he goes out of bounds. He looked for the screen, wasn't there, and somehow he evaded the great storm of uniforms and got himself up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I talked earlier about tackling for the Cavs. The Cavs had a chance to sack Paquin at least twice on that play right there, and a bunch of guys missing the tackles allowed Paquin to escape the pocket, escape the mayhem that was going on in the backfield and run upfield and pick up a first down. So he had a pickup of 7 or maybe 8 there on first down. Led to a second down right there, and he had a big run right there, getting the ball all the way up. It appears to be at about the 41-yard line right here.
From the 41, 26 seconds left in this first half. And for Ahuntsic trying to change the architecture of their offense. And Paquin's gotten 2 runs, back-to-back plays. And here he is going to the air. Middle, picked off. And that is picked off by number 13 in Camden, Jeremiah Francis. And for the young man, that is his first INT. And Champlain gets the ball back with 24 seconds left.
And that's what I said. You play that zone defense, wait for a pick to be thrown to you, and that's what Champlain did right there. Great job by Jeremiah Francis. Saw the one all the way. That ball was intended for number 85 there, the receiver Thomas El Gemayel, but he wasn't open. He simply wasn't open. There was Jeremiah Francis underneath, and there was a safety over the top. That's just a bad pass there by Paquin. I said, you wait, you be patient. He will throw some picks, and he did right there. So now, with they're saying, yeah, about 24.8 seconds left, Champlain has at least 2 or 3 chances to get the ball into the end zone here and extend their lead.
Right now, the South Shore clouds are exposing the Ahuntsic team and shining on Champlain in this first half. And Champlain is hunting for more points. Ralph, the game hunter, will get towards the first down marker and more as a rugby scrum ensues, and they were able to smuggle him towards the 51-yard line of the Ahuntsic side of the field.
Yeah, the only thing about that play is it took about 8 seconds, 8.3 seconds off the clock, but a good job by Ralph. Kept the feet going, looked like he was going to be stopped for a gain of 4, maybe 5. Kept on spinning, kept on moving forward. A little push, little help from his O-line, able to pick up the first down.
So now they're going to a hurry-up offense, Brent, trying to get themselves maybe in field goal range. Peterkin jabbing, throwing deep. Here is Reed, incomplete. And flagging the play, whistle goes. Snell was in on the coverage. And I would imagine that might be OPI.
Yeah, it would have to be. Reed right there was pulling the receiver, pulling the defensive back, I should say, from behind, trying to get a hand on the ball.
We'll see what the call is. And now they get towards the same situation here for Remy Giguère. And
So
that
penalty.
will end that.
Yeah, so declining the penalty. So it appeared there was 0.2 seconds on the clock. Obviously, the clock being run down to double zeros on the scoreboard, so that'll do it for the first half. But again, a great first half by Champlain.
And with that, Champlain up 28-7. We go into halftime, 30 down, 30 to go. Could Champlain get win number 6? Stay tuned here from Seaway 3.
Awesome.
Good?
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure if I can hear myself. I can't really hear myself that clear.
We did a mic test, Aziz and I. It worked out well. Okay. Yeah, so.
I know the first quarter and a bit, like I was trying to hear myself, I couldn't really hear myself. I wanted to say the last one.
You know, we did a mic test this morning, like we got early here. And then
Yeah, exactly. That's part. That's the most part.
take it. Hold. Hold.
You know what's funny, Brent? I almost released him today, my friend. I almost did because I couldn't pick up a quarterback.
Right.
So. Woo! Yes, sir. All right, let's go. Yeah, go on.
Damn you, I say. Damn you. Big touchdown by George Kittle, my friend. Back in it, baby. Back in it.
Welcome back here. Second half action underway from Seaway 3. And a strong return coming up from Emile Cassette. And that is where they will begin with Teo Paquin at quarterback. And Champlain will be on defense. Brent, a key now for the visitors from Ahuntsic and how they get back in this ball game.
They're gonna have to get some rhythm going offensively, right? I mean, they had a promising drive late in the second quarter there, and then INT. Then the last drive couldn't produce anything. They have to find a drive where they can pick up some first downs. Mixing the one successful drive that they had where they scored, right? What did they do? They mixed in the run and the pass. Ahuntsic has to do that here on this drive and just have their defense get an extended rest here to start the second half.
First play, no good. And that's will bring up a second down for the Cavaliers, for the Eagles offense here. They were all industry, the Champlain offense in that first half. Got 28 points, even on the missed field goal, extra point attempt on the first touchdown. They made up that lost points, but now, Brent, how do they maintain their focus, not losing the concentration of them being up by 3 scores?
But that's a tricky thing, right? This Cavs team, yeah, they have a lot of seniors who are set to graduate, but they also have a lot of young players. So again, you have your foot on your opponent's neck. You have to keep it on there for the remainder of this contest.
And at quarterback is Benjamin Voyer, the backup in, and he threw a long one. He's 14-29 for 242 yards, and that's an incomplete. So Ahuntsic, Remy Giguère going to the understudy, and Voyer, who deputizes for Paquin at quarterback, and we'll see if he can come up with some answers to this exam.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, both quarterbacks coming in at 6'2", but as you can see right here on the screen, right, Voyer a lot thicker, coming in at about 200 pounds, whereas Paquin is 170, so a bit thicker, a bit bigger of a quarterback there. And Voyer, let's see if that thickness and that strength could lead to some downfield success, unlike we saw there on first down, pardon me.
Third down. Here's the opening. Shirkawi's catch in the plus territory. And he is brought down by a gang of Champlain players. Grimard in on the tackle along with Reed. And this will bring up a first down for Ahuntsic.
Yeah, I see an injured player there for the Cavs.
And that is Jeremiah Francis.
Yeah, he was grabbing at his, I believe his left shoulder there.
And this will not be good news for the Cavaliers, as it might be a stinger for Camden Jeremiah Francis, who is in pain, but able to get off his own power.
Yeah, I think that appears to be exactly what it is. It's a little bit of a stinger right there. He should be okay, hopefully, to come back in this contest. But now, see, if you're Ahuntsic now, you realize, okay, so the Cavs, they're missing one of their best, or some people would say their best defensive player right now. So how do you attack them? Keep on going to the pass. We see Voyer not afraid to air it out so far as we've seen on this drive. Let's see if he continues that now when Jeremiah Francis on the sideline.
Good flow for him, and here is the run to the near side. And out to the 45, and a big stick as Lefebvre got the autograph from Declan Karch. And this will bring up a second down.
Yeah, Karch right there meeting Lefebvre there. Big collision. Running back's okay, defensive back's okay. Pickup of about 5, maybe even 6 there, I think, on that run. So definitely no physicality is not lacking between these two teams, the Ahuntsic and Cavs. Again, the rivalry goes way back between these two schools.
2nd and 4 for Ahuntsic from the 44. And Ahuntsic on the march, trying to cut at this deficit, down by 21. Quick hitter, and that is another first down. And that is caught by Volsi, his first catch of the second half. And now you start to see them attack outside the numbers, Brent, with some of the passing throws from Voyer.
Well, that's it. Like I said, right, Jeremiah Francis right now is he's on the trainer's table being looked at right here. So that's what you need to do. You need to attack outside the numbers here. That's where you had the most success. Again, with the height advantage that, that Ahuntsic has with the receivers, I mean, guys like Darch, he's a fighter, obviously. Right, number 29 for Champlain, as is Ian Lucier, but these guys aren't the tallest defensive backs, so if you use the advantage, the height advantage that you have if you're the Eagles right here.
Another passing down, going deep. And that is incomplete. Karch in on the coverage intended for Volsi, and there's a flag in the play, and this will be PI on the Cavaliers.
Yes, so both players were tangled up. And we saw the defensive back there. And Karch, he didn't turn around until like the last second, and at that point he already got a little too handsy on the receiver, hence why the pass interference call is going to be called against Champlain.
And this is not spot foul, it's 15 yards max. And the ball will be marked off at the 32-yard line. And pass by pass, Ahuntsic is starting to really get close towards the end zone. As you said before, Brent, concentration would be a key for the Cavaliers defense.
Concentration is going to be key indeed, right, for this Cavaliers defense. You saw such a quarterbacks, right? You can't really blame the coaching staff for Ahuntsic, obviously led by, you talked about before, Remy Jaguer, right? A better quarterback's in the lineup now. At least a guy who's more accurate with the deep ball.
And space to work with the near side again, and that's out of bounds for Lefebvre, forced out by Machonis, and they'll add on yards with the extra hit past the field of play. And Ahuntsic will have this ball inside the 5, I believe, with the additional yards to this cause.
Now, Machonis doesn't believe he should have been penalized right there. I have to agree with him on that one there. He got his hands on the running back, Lefebvre, at least 2 or 3 steps before he went out of bounds. He kind of rode him. They rode each other out of bounds, to be honest with you, and then Machonis ended up kind of bringing him to the ground. But it wasn't a blatant hit where the running back was clearly on the line or over the line in terms of being out of bounds. And then Machonis came to hit him. I don't agree with that call right there.
And this will be at the 2-yard line, and a good start here for Ahuntsic. Looking to get back in this game. The degree of separation was very big, and they could get this down, maybe down to a 2-score lead for Champlain. And remember, Brent, if they do convert, we've seen some onside kicks here in weeks past from opposing teams that have been converted. Voyer, another passing play, and here's a dump play, and he finds the O-lineman for the touchdown. Laurent Santos getting his first touchdown of the day and his career. It's a little trickery and magic from Ahuntsic, and now they're down by a score of 28-13.
And you see all the big boys, all the other O-linemen are joining him, a couple of the receivers and running backs as well, right? Always got to celebrate when a big man gets into the end zone. Great play design. That play was actually, Voyer's a little lucky. That play almost got picked off.
So Santos in on the touchdown, and the Cavaliers give up the first 6 points of the second half. And this game not is far from done with that statement drive from Ahuntsic, as you see the excitement on their sideline early in this third quarter of play.
I mean, if you are going to pick an O-lineman, you may as well pick your most athletic one. Looking at the tail of the tape here, Laurent Senatus, 6 foot tall, only 220 pounds. Not the biggest O-lineman, so he's definitely the most athletic, though, able to come up with the grab there, run a bit of a route, and come up with the grab as well. So good catch there by the offensive lineman for the TD, doing his best Jumbo Elliott impersonation.
And the extra point is good, 28-14. All eyes on the Champlain offense. But again, Remy Jaguer, coming from where he was from the University of Montreal, they are big on special teams. And you would think now they might want to look at that option here, Brent, on an onside kick. That could be the surprise play.
Yeah, you have to watch out here again. Like we've seen plenty of times this season where special teams has been a struggle for this Cavaliers squad, in particular, like you mentioned, right? The special teams and the onside kicks, right? Because there's a couple of games where we're seeing 2, 3, 4 onside kicks tried in a game, not just by the Cavs, but by their opponents. And the success rate is at least 50% right now for the opponents in terms of conducting or pulling off an onside kick against the Cavs. Now would actually be a really good time to call right here. You have a lot of momentum. Let's see if you can catch your opponents by surprise, because you imagine the Cavs offense wants to come back on the field and respond right away to that touchdown to open up the second half by the Eagles.
And here is LeBlanc set to kick off this ball. Will it be onside or a direct long kick? And now you hear the staff members for Champlain saying, watch the shorts. Line drive. Here is Ojello, and he will take the knee at the 25. This would have been his moment of glory to have a return on that kickoff. But he opts for the safety.
I can see some of the coaches on the Champlain sideline like, why did you take a knee? You could have got at least 5 to 10 yards on that. And that's a smart play right there by Ojello. Don't risk fumbling the ball. Don't risk anything. Just take a knee. Be safe right here. Again, you're up by 2 touchdowns. No need to be a hero right here.
And for Emerson Peterkin, Jaden Ralph, Massimo Longo, and Darius Reed, the four horsemen, they have been galloping so far in this first half. We'll see what they can do in the second half. 1st and 10 for the Cavs from the 25-yard line. South of 11 in this third quarter play. Peterkin firing, Longo, stride, bouncing off one and down at the 43, and he got tattooed by Dupont-Labelle on the play.
We talked about the four horsemen right there. Longo looking like Arn Anderson doing all the dirty work right there. Big catch over the middle, taking that big thud, but surviving the contact and picking up a first down for his squad.
Yeah, I see as more of a Barry Windham character there.
I mean, let's be real. Arn Anderson compared to Barry Windham? Come on now.
And right now it's a first down for the Cavaliers. They call me the Nature Boy, my friend.
In your own mind, yeah.
And right now it has been a Nature Boy effort from Emerson Peterkin in this first half. A bit of a delay here on the positioning for who's where on the offense for the Cavaliers as they get things set. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. Here is Ralph. There goes Ralph. And he will ski his way towards the midfield stripe, and he is brought down by a plethora of egg players on the play.
A good solid run right there by Ralph. We've seen it all game long, right? Getting the tough yardage for his team, extending the drives, right? 2 touchdowns already in this game. He's looking for a third. Big run right there to extend this drive, though, for the Cavaliers.
And this will bring up a 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. And not to say they're in the 2-minute offense here, but they would love to max clock and really squeeze what is left of the game against Ahuntsic, Brent, to make sure they don't get much game time here to come back in this game.
Yeah, when I said, well, besides the scoreboard, right, being 2 touchdown lead for the Cavs, the clock right now is going to be a factor, and that's the second biggest enemy to Ahuntsic. Yeah, if you're the Cavs, have a long offensive drive here where you melt the clock and add on more points to your lead.
Full-out blitz going deep. Here's Longo, and that ball sailed off of him. He was twisting, and that ball was turning. He had his step, but the ball definitely went the other way.
And great job, again, you won't see it on the stat sheet, but great job right there by the running back in Ralph, picking up not one but 2 guys right there on defense. You had Dufour, who's coming down the linebacker on the blitz. We also had number 55, Charles Marchildon, who's coming on as well. And what Ralph did is he got into the grill, he got into the face of Dufour and pushed him right into the linebacker, number 55, who is coming down as well. And we see, obviously, Ralph hoping to play at the next level. All the universities out there, one of the keys to bringing running back, you have to carry the rock, you have to protect it. Being a receiver at the backfield is an added bonus, but your ability to pass protect will be one of the biggest things to get you on the field, and Ralph showing he could do that right there.
Pass snap, here's Ralph. And right now, showing not much on that play as he was pushed back by Christophe Roy. There's a flag in the play, but that play was disastrous because the snap was a knuckleball. But this might be going against Ahuntsic, Brent.
So it's against Christophe Roy. He did a great job. He penetrated like a knife through butter into the backfield. He wrapped up Ralph right away, but it was the extra shove after the official had blown the whistle to blow the play dead. He gave the running back an extra shove, and that's just a silly penalty right there by Roy. And it went from being a 2nd and 10, it would have been 3rd and long, to giving your opponents a first down. And that's not the first time this game that the Ahuntsic squad has shown their immaturity. They're giving silly first downs and taking silly penalties, I should say, to give first downs to the Cavaliers.
Right now, it was caught cold is Roy on that play, and now will be at the 41-yard line of Ahuntsic's side of the field. A new first set of downs, which means that Champlain could, in theory, kill off another 2 minutes of offense. In all likelihood, Brent, unless Ahuntsic goes on a deluge of points, they're not going to beat them by 18 plus. But for the Cavaliers, they want to get win number 6 and put the pressure on Victoriaville and Outaouais. Throw out for Peterkin. Locking, loading, firing. Reed, no space.
Yeah, whatever. So I understand taking a deep shot to Reed. Listen, it's worked more often than not this afternoon. But what I would like to see right there from the veteran quarterback is look over in the middle of the field, because there was 2 guys running around. First was, pardon me, was Massimo Longo. He was running kind of a shallow corner to around the 30-yard line. He was open a little bit, but I'll tell you who was wide open. That was Luca Vendito, number 82. He was running an out route in the middle of the field, and he was wide open. And would like to see Peterkin come down from that deep option and look over the middle of the field, because he would have Vendito open for at least a first down.
Second down for the Cavaliers. Clock is ticking away. 7:30 left in this third quarter. 3-pack to the left with Peterkin. 2 running backs for the Cavs. Peterkin flushed out, going deep again, wide open. It's Clark. The arts and crafts on display. Touchdown for the Cavaliers. 41-yard catch by Clark, and the Cavs are up 34-14.
And again, that's the second time we've seen this afternoon, right? Receivers wide open. He had enough time to make a sandwich or get some water or something like that. He was just wide open. How do these defensive breakdowns keep happening for the Eagles?
And that wasn't a breakdown. That was almost a backyard throw and catch. No pressure at all. And Ahuntsic, a backbreaker. And the Cavaliers are up by a score of 20, pending the extra point. And for Jalen Clark, second touchdown of the day. And that puts him at 7 for the season. Enfield on for the extra point. It's good. Champlain up 35-14. And it goes back up by 21 for the home side. Enacted grand larceny for Emerson Peterkin. And you talk about his total numbers now, Brent. He is adding more and more to his value. 53 career touchdown passes in the regular season. And he is approaching over 5,200 yards passing for his career at the Cavaliers uniform.
That's exactly it. Listen, Emerson Peterkin, we've seen some great quarterbacks in our time here calling games for Champlain. Obviously, first one that comes to mind is Philip Pelletier, right? And the list goes on. But Emerson Peterkin, he's just a different type of cat, different type of animal. Able to beat teams with his arm, able to beat teams with his mind, able to beat teams with his legs, right? And it seems like almost every play, every time Emerson Peterkin touches the ball, he's either breaking a record or coming close to breaking a record right here. And again, there's still a lot of time left in this game, so he could add on to perhaps his trophy case, but definitely add on to the score right here for the Cavs as they try to march towards the playoffs. And again, like we said, looking to get that number 2 seed, depending, of course, on what happens this afternoon between Outaouais and Victoriaville.
By the end of the business day, we will know who is going to go where. An Outaouais win will give Champlain the 2 seed. The return coming up ahead. And here come the egg. And this time, bouncing off is the returner in Cassette. And this will be another chance here for Voyer, who looked very sound in his first drive for Ahuntsic. And we'll see what he can do now as he'll make his way into the huddle for the visitors.
He did. So Pat Gang, again, same height, 6'2". 6'3", he brings some speed. He's a mobile threat, quarterback position, but he missed on a lot of deep throws. Voyer, like I said, a bigger guy, maybe not as mobile, but he's more accurate with the arm, especially those deep ball throws. So if you're the Eagles, something to build on off your last offensive drive. It led to a touchdown. Let's see if they can make it a third one right here to get a little bit closer.
They were fruitless in the first half. They were fruitful in the first drive in the second half. To the left they go, Lefebvre. And he got brought down by the Cavalier on the ground, and that was the D lineman in Rancourt.
So let's say the Cavs, they were one player short before that snap. Elliott Reeves didn't come on to the defense. Now he finally makes his way off the bench. But the Cavs, they were one player short there on that first down.
I believe that's load management.
Yeah, there you go.
6:10 left in this third quarter play. Champlain up by a score of 35-14. Voyer in at quarterback for Ahuntsic in this second half so far. And he's going to go deep and stride. First down and more at the midfield line. And that is Benoit Ménard, his first catch the second half. And if there's one edge that Ahuntsic has, is that they have a lot of dreadnought pass catchers with the size in their advantage.
Yeah, that's it. We talked about it before, right? I mean, there's a lot of scrappy guys, a lot of fighters in this Cavs secondary, but a lot of them are all under 6 feet tall, right? And that's gonna be an issue when you're playing receivers like Ahuntsic, right? We talked about guys like Maynard, right? Maynard is 6'2". We search Shakari. Shakari is 6'5", right? And you can see the advantage that they have in those matchups, especially those one-on-one balls.
Voyer looking for the one-on-one. He's got it. Shakari, interception. A heart and mouth moment for Shakari, and that was picked off by Rancourt.
And that's his battle. I mean, that's similar to the first interception, right? That went off the head of, I believe it was Darts earlier in the first half. And that ball right there, I mean, it was a good pass. It was a good pass. Shakari usually sure-handed, just bobbled it, put it up into the air. It fell down in a diving INT Made right there by Rancourt. Right place at the right time here for the Cavs. Like I said, after the first interception, they're not always drawn up the way you want it to be. Some of them are ugly, and some of them are lucky. The Cavs will take both of those.
And you talk about this defensive effort, much more quality today than in weeks past. And they've answered the bell after taking a blow to the jaw last week on the road in the loss to Drummondville. And right now they're putting a drubbing to Ahuntsic. Play action, middle, Longo. And he dropped the ball. Will this be a fumble or incomplete? And this will be confirmation, still going. There'll be a conversation with the 3 referees. Did Longo make a football move that resulted in a turnover in favor of Ahuntsic?
The far side official saying it's going to be first down Ahuntsic. I saw him signal first down, or possession Ahuntsic, I should say. My apologies. I don't know if Longo made a football move right there. Yep,
incomplete. As my eyes did not fail me on that play, Brent Bakken.
No, 100%. It was an incomplete pass. Like I said as well, right? I don't think he made a football move. He made one step, but you got to make 2 steps once you have possession of the ball. So he had that 1 step to his right, and I don't think he ever even had control of the ball, which is why he dropped it.
Sometimes the frailties of those moments could be costly, and that almost costed the Champlain offense on that play.
Yeah, Longo, he knows he's going to have to squeeze the ball next time, because that was a good throw right there by the quarterback. It would have been enough for the first down.
Second attempt from the 42. And the Cavaliers still in offense.
Blitz coming.
And here's the run. Ralph, big hole. Still going strong to the 50 as he knocked over Longo and the Ahuntsic player in the DB in Dupont-Lebel.
Yeah, good strong run right there by Ralph. And it's a good call right there. So we saw the blitz coming from the left-hand side of the offensive line by Ahuntsic, but the play call was to the right. The run play was to the right there, so they ran away from the blitz. Good job right there by Ralph, picking up more than enough for the first down.
And Champlain back in the plus territory again. Talk about the top attractions of this offense. And Jaden Ralph is one of the top attractions to work with. And you see in the formation now is the H-back and Luca Mello. First attempt for the Cavaliers. Another rollout for Peterkin going towards the sideline. Here's Longo, and he will torque his bite towards the 30 and out at the 25-yard line as Massimo Longo showing the flow and go on that play.
Add 15 yards onto that penalty. Colin Lavoie, number 24, the defensive back, went to tackle Longo as Longo kind of caught the ball, was kind of wrapping around a little bit, and he grabbed a hold of the face mask to Lavoie. Now Lavoie is hurt. Might have got his fingers tangled up there in that face mask. Fortunately for the Eagles, another injured player down in Lavoie. Again, good throw, good catch right there, Longo. And I saw Longo, he was open the whole way on the route that he was running. Peterkin saw him, and a good throw and catch right there, and some yak yards to boot.
Yeah, as we said before in the first half, late in the season when you get one injury, it's tough. But when you get a plethora of injuries, as Ahuntsic has endured, it might be a real tough stretch for them because in all likelihood, Brent, by the way we're going, they're going to be on the road as a 4-seed playing La Puck or Jonquière and head up to the northeast of Quebec for the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, and that's exactly it. And listen, let's be honest here. You want to avoid Jonquière, right? I mean, listen, they're a powerhouse, and they're a powerhouse for a reason, right? So if you're Ahuntsic, yeah, finishing in third would be nice. It's also nice because you get to avoid the number 1 seed from the other conference, right? So we'll have to see what can happen. I mean, listen, there's still a lot of football left, but right now you're down 35-14. I don't like the chances of scoring 18 points or more if you're Ahuntsic.
And as we move into the deep end of the red zone, it's at the 10-yard line of Ahuntsic's side of the field with 3:19 left in this third quarter of play. Champlain, they have been the creator of chaos, and the clock should be rolling, which now is indeed ticking away, which makes Brent Bakken very happy. You look very cold there, Brent.
I look great, my friend. I feel warm too. Winter jacket is out, my
Follow
friend.
my lead. Peterkin looking to the end zone, and nowhere there, and this is incomplete, intended for Longo.
So Longo right now thinks it should have been a penalty. He felt he was definitely tripped up. Obviously, the officials disagree on that one. So now 2nd and 10 in the red zone right here for the Cavs. And you see Longo still talking to the officials saying that I was tripped up. Where's the call?
Sometimes the rookie has to pay his dues. Sometimes. But at that time, it was over his head, not catchable. 2nd and 10 for the Cavs. They can still, well, 2nd and goal now officially. They can't get a first down. 2nd and goal for the Cavaliers. Longo, the third receiver to the left of the formation. Peterkin rolling towards that side. Looking, throwing. No one there. There was 3 Cavalier players. Reed was the closest. Longo out there along with Clark. But that ball ended up in the Bermuda Triangle of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame Peterkin right there trying to take a shot to Reed. But again, the coverage was sound right there on the back end by Ahuntsic. So, you know what? Throw the ball away. Live to play another down. Third and goal now. So, I mean, first down is not possible, but at least you could get it maybe closer to the goal line where you consider going for it on 4th down. But yeah, if you're free to catch, the ball has to be, I would imagine, at least inside the 5-yard line for that to happen.
2:30 left, 35-14 lead for the Cavaliers. Another touchdown here would confirm the Cavaliers at the 3 spots and a chance to get the 2 spot if Victoriaville were to lose to Outaouais today. Peterkin's got Clark as the 2nd receiver to his left. Another high snap, looking, throwing, and that is incomplete. Intended for Clark. He was open, and that might have been repelled by a defensive player for Ahuntsic.
And I'll tell you, I'm not sure if the defensive player got his hand on it or not, but maybe, hopefully he did at least for the Eagles. But where that play, where the timing of that gets thrown off is the high snap. Because we saw Ahuntsic came in on the blitz. Ralph tried to pick up somebody on the right-hand side, so he did do that. But the high snap, there was pressure also coming from the B gap, right? And the high snap throws off the timing of that play. Peterkin had to jump up to catch it, set his feet, and get rid of the ball as the pressure was coming in his face. And that caused a pass right behind Clark, who was wide open in the end zone.
So Anfield is on for the field goal. He's 3 of 6 this season for the Cavaliers. He missed the 3 here against Lanaudière in early October on that Saturday night. And he'll love to get the confidence oozing with intent going towards playoffs next weekend. Last count for Peterkin, who is the holder. Enfield waiting, and they're not going to start this yet. I think there is someone who's missing. And Ojello's looking towards the bench. And they'll take the delay game call here, and they'll take the penalty instead of the timeout with 1:44 left. So someone did not come on the field.
They had 11 players on the field. And obviously the last player being subbed in now is Calvin Drabble. Number 27 for Champlain.
And I think Drabble's going in because he's just going in.
Yeah.
And you can see on the sideline now, Brent, Mr. 13 himself, Camden Jeremiah Francis, with the sling on his arm, which is not good news for him. And we'll see if he will be available next week.
Yeah, you hate to lose him again. He's arguably been the MVP of this defense here for the squad this year. Hoping, obviously, it's just a precautionary measure right here. Keep it in the sling, limit the movement on it. The icing in, getting it worked on throughout the week here.
This field goal attempt will be from the 22-yard line. Kick won't count. Whistle on the play. And they will have a redo once again with 1:44 left in this third quarter play.
The Cavs right here at their offense looking way better than it did last week. 35 points, looking to make it 38 right now. Of course, they struggled. Looked like they were stuck in mud last week at Drummondville, 31-19 loss. Passing game, I mean, with the exception of Darius Reed, who had 9 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. No other receiver had more than 5 catches or 42 yards, pardon me. The run game struggled as well, right? Jaden Ralph, who's looked explosive here today, he was limited to only 53 yards last week in their loss to Drummondville. So obviously the offense getting back on track in the case of the Cavaliers.
Anfield again, so they'll have a third part, the hold, the kick. And when Champlain scores 28 points or more in a game, they're 5-0. Brent, they hit the field goal, and they're on their way to 6-0 as they're up by a score 38-14 with 1:40 left in this third quarter of play.
Yeah, good job right there. And what matters the most, right, is getting the confidence of your kicker back in order. We saw he missed the first extra point of the game. Head coach Sean Main elected to go for a 2-point conversion on the second touchdown of the game by the Cavs. But after that, he said, okay, I'm going to put my trust back in infield. He's made every single extra point and now a field goal as well. So getting his confidence back up to make sure he can be consistent and reliable is key, and that appears to be the case so far in the second half of this game.
Ahuntsic elects for the ball at the 35-yard line. And with the clock now, with this being a score of more than 21, I believe the clock rolls the rest of the way here. So Ahuntsic will have to keep this game within range, but right now they have not had the range at all in this matchup. Voyer. Passing range going to the far side. Open space, first down and more. And Volsi get towards the 51 of the plus territory. And he's had a good, sound game for Ahuntsic this afternoon.
Yes, he has it. Again, that's a tackling issue. We talked about it in the first half, right? That's going to be something that needs to be remedied here by the Cavs. Again, we talk about obviously today, I mean, don't want to say this game is in the bag, but again, with a minute left here and counting in the third quarter, I mean, unless we see the impossible being pulled off by Ahuntsic, this game is pretty much in the bag for the Cavs. But no matter who Champlain faces next week, they're going to have to work on tackling. You can't allow some of the yak yards.
And if Jeremiah France is not available, that will hurt. Blitz from the middle. Voyer going towards that area, and that is repelled away by Grimard, intended for Shikawi, and it will be a second down as he puts on the seatbelt on the big number 11 target.
Yeah, great coverage right there by Grimard, going step for step right in the back pocket of the receiver. Made a play on the ball, made sure not to get called for pass interference or illegal contact. Great coverage right there by Grimard.
And this will be 30 seconds and counting in this third quarter play. Brent Block and Mo Khan as we move towards the final 15 of this regular season campaign. Champlain looking like they will be 6-2. The question is, will it be the number 2 seed or 3 seed? That play won't count.
Luckily for Ahuntsic, there was a fumble right there. Yeah, and the Eagles, of course, looking to regroup. We talked about earlier, right? Eagles winning 2 out of their last 3 games. Escaped last Saturday at home for victory, 21-15 over the winless Lanaudière, right? So, I mean, obviously, Lanaudière is one type of opponent. The Cavs are another. For Ahuntsic, again, already clinching a playoff spot, they're going to have to deliver a lot more offensively and on defense as well if they want to have any chance of pulling off an upset next week in the postseason.
Well, the Cavaliers will have to get their bodies healthy. And for Ahuntsic, they need to get themselves ready for next week. Another deep ball. Shikawi overshot him. In on the coverage was Mohamed Ba, and there is a flag, I believe, on the 40-yard line, roughly. And this is going to go against the Cavaliers, so they will have one untimed play.
Glad to see what the penalty is here. It could be a
pass interference.
Yeah, pass interference. It's automatic first down here, given to the Eagles. So let's see if they can capitalize on that. I mean, like you talked about, right? One untimed play here to end the third quarter. They don't have to go for broke here. But let's see if they can at least get the ball a little bit downfield, get another first down here.
Oh, by the way, Guillaume Perry would like to have a word with you after the game. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Right now, will be one untimed play here as Brent sips his water, knowing very well he's in trouble with the referee. It will be a second down for Ahuntsic. A rollout for Voyer. He's got plenty of time. And this is caught. Fingertip grab. Tony tapping his way out of bounds is Ryu, as the wind was in my face on that situation on the Tony toe tap. See that 10 times in a row.
I think you're having a little trouble with the wind there, my friend.
It is very cold right now, my friend. But right now it's been a colder effort for Ahuntsic. They are down by a score of 38-14. We go into the fourth quarter, Brent. And now for Champlain, it's about managing the minutes here and making sure these guys don't get hurt and getting out clean. They already have one loss with Mr. Francis being hurt, who knows for how long, but they want to make sure everyone goes unscathed going towards playoffs next week.
Yeah, like I said, of course, playoffs coming up, right? You want to have all hands on deck, everybody on board. So I'm going to go back to that catch. So great catch right there by Jezreel Ryu. You can't ask for better coverage from Ian Lucier, number 28, the defensive back from the Cavs. He was right there, step for step with the receiver, even trying to make a play on the ball, but a great hands, great concentration by the receiver in Ryu.
Voyer, here is the dump pass, and there goes Lefebvre down the sideline, and this will get towards the 20, or just over the 20-yard line at the 17.5-yard line to be exact.
Yeah, 13-yard gain right there by Lefebvre. Good job in the flats. Quarterback saw him immediately. He was by himself. Lefebvre makes the catch, brought it up the right sideline for a first down and then some.
And this will be at the 20-yard line officially for Ahuntsic. Trying to add on some points here. Right now, they're vernacular, nowhere near the Cavaliers. The oxygen levels, nowhere near each other. Champlain breathing a lot better quality than what Ahuntsic has so far. Voyer looking towards the left, and he will find the incompletion instead. The target man was Ryu, but this time did not come up with the smooth catch.
So Ryu won the first battle against Lucier. That time, Lucier won the battle. Ryu got his hands on the ball, and it looks like Lucier was able to come from behind and kind of knock it, at least get his hand on the ball or knock it out of his hands right there. So the score in that battle is 1-1 for either side.
But the bigger score is 38-14 for Champlain. It's been 4 years since Ahuntsic paid a visit to Champlain, and right now they might be on the losing edge of this game. Voyer looking for the screen, and that is overcooked. Intended for Lefebvre. And this will be a third down coming up for the Cavaliers, for the Ahuntsic offense against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we see Louis Bastien around court coming up a little gimpy there. He's trying to make a play on the ball there. Able to stay on the field, though. Looks like he's going to continue. Yeah, so the screen pass, the idea was good. Just the execution was lacking there on that screen pass up the middle. And the pass is way over the head of the quarterback.
Well, right now the decoys have not worked on that play. And for the Ahuntsic Eagles, the egg, they'll be in 4-down territory regardless of the position of the field. Another high snap for Voyer. Going towards the end zone. Here's a one-on-one, incomplete. And that was intended for Maynard, and that will be a fourth down here for the egg. In on the coverage was Elliott Reed, who's had a wonderful game for the Cavaliers secondary today.
Yeah, looks like Reed was actually the intended receiver on that pass. He was in great positioning. Able to turn around at the last second. The ball was just about a yard or two short in front of him. If the ball was in the air a little longer, would have been an INT.
13 minutes and rolling here in this fourth quarter, fourth down. So last action for this potential series for Ahuntsic if they don't convert for a first down. The line to gain is at the 10, and they're at the 20 for this next play. 4-pack to the left of Voyer. Empty backfield moving forward. And the pressure comes, and the sack applied by Mashonis. The senior coming up with a gift of God, the Greek God that is, and that's his third sack of the season.
Yeah, Mashonis had a sack the last time these two teams played, adding to his total right there. He's able to come up. There was no one to block him right there. Got into the backfield instantly and chased the quarterback and brought him down from behind. Great play, great clutch play right there by the Cavs defense led by Mashonis.
And if there was any hope for Ahuntsic, it just got eviscerated by the Cavaliers defense. And Champlain on to win number 6. And now in at the left guard position for the Cavaliers is the youngster in Clayton Hackett Anthony. So they're giving Baptiste Audouin the night off.
Rest, yeah. Well-deserved night off. Or rest of the afternoon off, if you will.
Put on the sideline hat and towel around the neck. That's a tradition that you've made famous, Brent. Here's Ralph. Bounces out to the 30, still going strong, and knocked down at the 35. And now if you're Shaw Main, Brent, you talk about the quarterback, you talk about your receivers that you've had and the running back. At what point do you take them out so they get the rest of the day off and get them fresh for next week?
I mean, listen, if I was head coach Charmaine, another injured Eagle on the field, you hate to see that. I mean, this team is just...
They're getting clipped at the wings.
Yeah, clipped at the, that's exactly it, clipped at the wings. They're losing the war of attrition as well, right? I mean, not sure who that is. We'll be able to tell you as soon as that player gets up. Don't have the right angle right here. But to answer your question no more, I mean, listen, if I'm head coach Charmaine, this would be my last offensive drive for the starters, at least. I would get Peterkin out of there. I get Ralph out of there for sure. I mean, you want to get some of these younger guys like Vendito, like we talked about before, right? Vendito and some of the other weapons who haven't had as much of a chance, right, this season to play. Guys like Nathan Chin, our receiver, Miguel Martinez, Carlos Gonzalez. Get some of those guys some reps, right? Because, again, these guys, these young guys, right, next man up. That's the mentality of football. They're going to need some reps as well. So getting them some action here, especially in the home finale in the regular season, would be a good thing.
And that was Colin Lavoie who got helped off, number 24 for Ahuntsic. So Keese in the backfield for the Cavaliers. And here is Aaron Keese. Bounce towards the left. Keese going towards the width, flagging the play. And Keese is bounced out. He ran a lot of yards for very minimal gain.
Yeah, and credit to the Ahuntsic defense, making sure that run stayed east to west instead of north and south. And now a holding penalty coming up against the Cavs here. So it was 2nd and 5 to start the play. Now it's going to be 2nd and 15 if Ahuntsic accepts the penalty.
Keese is being tagged off as Ralph comes back in. And again, Isaiah Sassy was the backup quarterback for Emerson Peterkin, but he's out himself. And the options not deep for the Cavaliers when it comes to the quarterback position.
Well, now might be a game, right? Try somebody else out there. See if anyone else can throw the rock. Get some creativity going. Create a little magic. We'll have to wait and see, though.
And they'll move this ball back towards the 25.5-yard line.
It's a 2nd and 15 now instead of 2nd and 5 facing this Cavaliers offense. But we've seen it throughout the season, especially here today, 2nd and 15 is not that much of a bother for this Cavs offense. They're able to convert here. They've shown so far they can convert on 2nd and 3rd and long.
The rollout for Peterkin. Going towards the center field. That ball is hanging and caught by Clark.
And there you go. That's what I talked about. 2nd and long. Doesn't matter for the Cavs. Oh, and a late flag right here. So we saw one of the D linemen going out of one of the O linemen for Champlain.
And that was a masterpiece of a pencil sketch by Emerson Peterkin to Clark. But as Brent said, a flag on the play. And we'll see if this will be against Champlain. And it appears it will be against the Cavaliers.
I tell you what, good route though by Clark. He was open by about 3 or 4 steps. He had to wait for that ball to come down, which is why the play appeared to be a little closer than what it was. He burned by his man right at the snap at the line of scrimmage.
And the Cavaliers have been relentless. A rich harvest of young pass catchers for Sean Main. And for Emerson Peterkin, his last regular season home game. We'll see if he'll have a playoff home game next weekend, which could be Saturday night or Sunday afternoon at Seaway 3. It all hinges on the Outaouais-Victoriaville game this late afternoon. 10 to go in this fourth quarter play for the Cavaliers. Another high snap, and here is Ralph. Surveys, bouncing out, big hit by Peterkin, and here goes Ralph on the hurdle. Flag will be called on Peterkin for the OC, and they'll move him back.
Yeah, and that's his immaturity right there by Peterkin. I mean, he laid a fantastic block. A highlight block you probably see on the highlight tape at the end of the year, laying on number 15, Andre Zachary, but then he stood over Zachary and basically taunted him, and the officials was right there seeing it. You got to be smarter than that if you're Peterkin.
And so the Cavaliers showing a bit of confidence and arrogance on their way through. And speaking of men's sports, men's soccer going on right now at Vandy College. The Champlain men's team in the final against Nomads of Montmorency. And we'll see what that final score is in that matchup.
So here now 2nd and 15 after that penalty by Peterkin. Champlain with the ball at their own 51-yard line.
Here's Peterkin, botch snap. And somehow finds his way through to Ralph, who will get nothing. A white sandstorm of uniforms, and this will bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, so it's a bad, disjointed play is what I'm trying to say right there by the Cavs. It's again a bad snap, fumble. Luckily, Peterkin saw it right away. He picked it up, handed it off to his running back, Ruff. And this is a smart timeout right here by head coach Champlain. He needs to settle down his troops. Had the run on the previous play, called back due to a silly penalty by the quarterback, and then we saw a fumble right there. Champlain coming onto the field right now, talking to his troops. Maybe perhaps reading a little bit of a riot act right there. Can't really blame him if he is. Champlain needs to get their focus and their concentration back.
So update will be given to us soon. Texas Vince Amato to find out the score of the men's soccer game. So we'll find out soon enough who has won that game right now. So right now for Champlain, they're winning this game here, but it's becoming a little feisty, full of fireworks for these two teams. But now, Brent, it's about matchups and who's going to play who in the next round of the football playoffs here. And again, for the 3 seed on this side of the division, at minimum 6-2 does not get you a top 2 spot in a home game. It gets you on the road, and Champlain would like to avoid that equation going towards next weekend.
Oh, and that's exactly it, right? Which is why it's so important to finish second, right? You could avoid La Pocaterre, you could avoid Jonquière, right, in the first round of the playoffs. Look at last year. Champlain finished second, right? Last year, they played Rimouski. They blitzed Rimouski last year, winning by about 20 points in that first round playoff matchup last year, right? So if you're Champlain, you want to have something a favorable matchup like that again. Yes, you are going to have to play the harder or the better teams in the playoffs, but if you can avoid them at least in the first round and build some momentum heading into the second, that would be great.
If Champlain were to get the 2 seed, they get Rimouski here, a rematch of last year's quarterfinal game. If they don't get the 2 seed, they'll go to Jonquière next weekend. Peterkin launching one. Here is Clark in stride, and caught in 2 minds moment for Clark as he was thinking big time catch and run, but ends up being an empty conclusion.
Yeah, Clark would love to have that pass back. It's a beautiful pass there on the corner route from his quarterback and Peterkin. Yeah, rough. Putting Clark rather just kicking a water bottle on the sideline here, mad at himself. That ball went right through his hands and his arms right there.
He's on a hat trick on 2 touchdowns, looking for the 3rd. And for the Cavaliers, they'll have a rare moment here, Brent. Punting the football. They've not punted the football at all.
I was going to say, first punt of the game here by Ashton Enfield. And this is going to be hard, right? I mean, Enfield hasn't had, he's had a field goal, he's had some extra points, but this is his first punt, right? And he's been sitting on the sideline now for a while.
Pulling a new sideline cap and towel around the neck.
Ashton Enfield, like myself, my friend, contributing to a win. Unlike you, my friend, usually on the bench cheering guys like myself and Ashton on.
And that's a chopper. Flagging the play.
Yeah, roughing the kicker.
Will that be enough, though, to get, is it a roughing the kicker or is it contacting the kicker? And we'll see what the call is.
I would say roughing the kicker here, considering that Enfield did get smoked there on that play, but we'll have to wait and see what the officials decide.
And the referee still conversing about that. 8:56 left. It's taking almost 20 minutes for the last 4 minutes to elapse. And a 38-14 lead for the home side. And here is the call from the head referee. So roughing the kicker. And no yards on Champlain. First down, Champlain.
Yeah, the roughing the kicker takes precedent right there, 100%.
That would have been quite the equalizer if the no yards took out the roughing the kicker.
Yeah, that's
call,
it. So, so my eyes don't deceive me. Roughing the kicker was the call that I made, and that's the call the officials agree and made on the field as well, right? So first down now. And again, you're Ahuntsic, right? You're shooting yourselves in the foot. Not to say they're going to come back from being down 38-14, but at least, you got to get some points and work on some things that you could bring into next week's playoff game, right? And I mean, you're putting your defense back on the field yet another time here. It's not a recipe for success. Again, if you're Ahuntsic, again, bad penalty after bad penalty. The Cavs had a couple of their own, right? Last time they had the ball as well. Now the Eagles doing their turn as well to take some bad penalties and extending the drive for their opponents.
And boy, what a matchup that would be if it's Champlain at Jonquière next weekend. Another high snap, and here is Ralph, and he is going to get tackled just shy of the 40-yard line. And this will be second down coming up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, good tough run right there by Ralph, just exploding through the hole to pick up some extra yardage there. So, but again, a 9, setting up 2nd and 1 here on second down. Again, milking the clock, keeping the ball on the ground here make sure the clock keeps on rolling is what Champlain needs to do.
And if the Cavaliers get the 2, Rimouski will be coming down here. And they came here last season and lost in the quarterfinals.
Yep, 46-24 win by Champlain last year in the quarterfinals. Cavs, of course, losing to Jonquière in the second round, 52-42. Cavs obviously hoping possibly for a rematch in this year's postseason, but of course they have to get through today and see what happens between Victoriaville and Uruguay.
Another high snap. And this is a broken play and sacked for the loss. Coming through was Aurel Legrand, and he come up with a grand play for the Ahuntsic defense. And this will be a 4th down for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, again, the snap has to be better. This is, at least on this drive alone, there's been about 3 or 4 high snaps. I understand Peterkin is long, and he can leap almost to the lights here. He has that athletic ability, but the snaps have to be at his chest. Because, like I said earlier, right, that just throws off the timing of the entire play, whether it's a run play or a pass play, when the quarterback has to leap up into the air, corral the ball, and then set his feet.
I beg your pardon, 3rd down for the Cavaliers with 7 minutes left in this 4th quarter play. Better snap this time. Better protection this time. There's the throw deep. Reed, incomplete. And getting a fingertip on that ball was Lucas Snell as he extended the telescopic arms of his to deny Reed a chance at a big play.
Yeah, that was actually a really good throw by Peterkin. He put the ball only where his receiver can get it, because again, if he's a yard or 2 short, that ball gets batted away at the very least, right? Reed made a diving attempt, right? He made his best effort to try and catch that ball. Unfortunately, just couldn't connect. I like the aggressiveness, though, of the Cavs offense. They realized that deep ball to Reed has been money pretty much almost all game long. Why not go to it again? It didn't work out, but it's okay here. You have a punt. Ideally now, if Enfield gets off a good punch, you're going to pin Ahuntsic back inside their own 20-yard line.
And with that, we'll get to see another punt for the Cavaliers. And set to return in the backfield is number 27 in Emmanuel Granger. 6:50 and rolling. Champlain in no hurry at all. A much better looking punt. Returnable from the 11. Bringing it back out to the width. And brought down is Granberg on Granger. And Voyer will come back out for the Egg, who will have some work to do, a week to consider and reconfigure the lineup, depending who will be healthy enough going towards their playoff matchup next weekend.
Yeah, good coverage there on special teams by the punt coverage unit. I just would like to see Gramard had a chance to wrap up the returner. He tried to deliver the big hit there, laying the shoulder. The returner literally just bounced off the shoulder and kept on going. You got to wrap. Especially on defense, but even more so on special teams, you have to wrap up the person with the ball, right? Don't just try to lay the big hit and lay down the boom, lay down the hammer. You got to make sure you wrap up. So now instead of starting inside their own 20, the ball is now at Ahuntsik's 23-yard line.
6:10 and rolling in this 4th quarter of play. Champlain trying to end this on a strong note, and here's a deep ball, and that is caught. Well tracked, tackled to 50, and he's had a wonderful second half. And Jezreel Ryu, as he has been a positive reinforcement for this team, bringing the substance and vigor on that play.
Yeah, Ryu, great catch right there. You can't ask for a better throw than when Voyer had right there. Over the shoulder of the defensive back and the receiver right there, putting it right into the arms of the receiver. Great catch as well, surviving the contact from the defender and the contact with the ground as well. Good throw, and even better catch right there from quarterback to receiver.
And Ahuntsic might have a quarterback question to answer next week. Will they go with Paquet or Voyer? Voyer looking the better so far. And Volsi cannot come up with the goods. And that was in on the coverage for Champlain is Lucas St. Pierre.
Yeah, St. Pierre, good coverage right there by the youngster St. Pierre. First time we called his name here this afternoon. He was going step for step with the receiver, made a play on the ball. Good pass by the quarterback. Just one of those balls, I'm going to put it up there, give my receiver a chance to make a play. Unfortunately for Ahuntsic, the receiver couldn't.
And Guillaume Perrier, the referee, helping out St. Pierre with his uniform adjustments.
You know, Guillaume Perrier, defensive back there for U of M, helping out, getting right down there on the call.
Well, you were in prison his exploits in the first half.
So we're down.
Big hit by Voyer, and Sharkawi cannot track that ball. as Ba was lurking with intent, and it was bad intentions.
And Shakari was open. Shakari needs to make that catch. That's the second time he's had a ball go right through his hands that could have led to a big play for his team. Again, a good ball delivered by Voyer. Receivers are not helping him out, unfortunately, for the Eagles.
And the Eagles' wings have been clipped, and they have not been soaring. They have been grounded so far on this Sunday afternoon. Coming into this game, 160 points, 4, and that was it. In fact, when they scored less than 16, they're 0-2 this year. They're at 14 as we speak, going to the far side. And that is caught, and that will be, depending on the marking of where it was caught by Maynard, close to a first down, if not more than enough for a first down.
And I'll tell you what, that throw right there is a hard one by Voyer. Voyer rolling out a little bit to the left hash mark, throwing it all the way across to the opposite side of the field. Good throw and a nice catch there, like I said, by Maynard right there. Made the catch despite getting contacted from the defensive back. Still out of bounds. So that's going to be fourth down, though. So he got the ball but couldn't get the first down. So it's going to be fourth and a long one right here for Ahuntsic. And again, this is where you had that thick quarterback, that big quarterback in Voyer. I'd run the quarterback sneak if I was the Eagles right here.
Could they convert and keep this drive alive on the 4th down and 1? This is a pass. This is a draw. And a great play. Stiff arming his way through. The pirouette to the 30. 25 out of bounds. And that is style and profile and a big, industrious moment for Voyer.
I mean, it wasn't a quarterback sneak, but it was definitely a quarterback keeper right there. Voyer making an injured player. I believe that's number 30 there, Rand Court. I believe he's down on one knee there at the 35-yard line, number 30 for Champlain. But Voyer there, he got 2 to 3 step drop there. Cavaliers defense thought he was going to throw, and Voyer said, no, I'm going to keep that ball. I'm going to tuck it and run. He was able to not make one, but he made 2 people miss. A little pirouette there in the open field. So the big man showing some agility, some good footwork, able to pick up the first down for his squad.
And Rancourt is being helped off by the train staff, and his race might be run for this afternoon. And the Cavaliers trying to get themselves through. Still waiting for the final score here for the men's soccer between Momo and Champlain. Nationals will be here in less than 2 weeks. There could be a home playoff game for football next weekend. And there is the run to the left. To the 20 they go. And brought down at the 18 is Lois Maillard. And that's his first carry of the second half.
Yeah, Lois Von Maillard there with the carry. Minimal gain right there. Pickup of, I want to say, maybe 3, possibly 4 there on that run. No, my apologies. Actually, a little bit bigger than that. According to the sticks, it looks like a gain of about 7 yards right there. Yeah, so now setting up 2nd and 3. And we see on defense, Darius Reed now. He was on the field defensively on the last play for the Cavs, not coming off, going back to the sideline.
He had the INT to close out the game against Lanaudière earlier this month. Voyer going to the end zone. Great stretch and grab, touchdown, Volsi.
Yeah, Volsi leaping into the air again, and that's the advantage these receivers have. Volsi coming into this game, right? Well, coming into this game in general, he's 6'1". With that ratio, has reached someone about 6'3", 6'4", right there, reaching high up into the air, grabbing the pass from Voyer and getting to the end zone. So good drive right there by Ahuntsic.
And the Eagles will go for 2. And Brent, you would have to imagine that they are going to
try the onside. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Right now they're down by a score of 38-20. So the question now is, could they get this to maybe 16-point gap, which would mean 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point converts required. Voyer's got space, and he'll go to the end zone, and the flag on the play will be a late hit, so they'll have a redo again. 2 penalties as Carmel will be called for the PI on that, yes.
So in the grand scheme of things, this penalty doesn't really matter all that much. The ball is at the 1 yard line. You're going to move it up half a yard at the most, right? I mean, this maybe will be more conducive now to a quarterback sneak or a hand up the middle. So these penalties in the grand scheme of things aren't that big of a factor right here, especially in the game considering what the score is, but at least to this 2-point attempt, it makes it a couple of inches easier for Ahuntsic to pull off if they like to run the ball up the middle.
And at the 1 yard line, moved up by maybe a snail's size. And this will be 3-minute warning officially called in with 2:50 left. Ahuntsic trying to creep in a little bit closer to this game. And it looks like they're going to bring in some more reinforcements as Anthony Longo will be coming in. And Baptiste Dwayne, now the water boy.
There's a Baptiste O'Doyne running in there.
And Longo's going to go in now on defense. So they're bringing the who's who out for this defensive play.
So I think O'Doyne wanted to go back in there, not to deliver the water, but to go back in along the defensive line and try to stop this 2-point conversion from Ahuntsic. But again, looking to keep him healthy. He missed the game earlier this season, right? So getting in Longo, usually a wide receiver, but putting him in there at defensive backs. And now coming out is number 15, Elliott Reed. Reed, who had an INT earlier in this game, coming out for Longo.
And Brent, we can start looking at who's going to play who next week. As we said before, Rimouski, Champlain could be a matchup. It could be Jonquière against Champlain. We know Ahuntsic is going to go towards La Puck for their first round game. And that's a long bus ride going out to the northeast of Quebec. Voyer. And the run and the 2-point convert is good. And now they're down by a score of 38-22.
So he's an injured player right now. Louis Deschanel, he is favoring his left calf there. Even as a running back was breaking the goal line, running into the end zone, he was hopping on one leg. And now Deschanel going down at about the 12-yard line here. The trainer's coming onto the field. So again, we talked about the injuries for the Eagles. There's been a couple injuries for the Cavs as well.
So the touchdown is good.
Yeah.
So I beg your pardon. The catch that was applied by Volsi was at the 1. Touchdown is good because we thought it was the extra point. Touchdown
you're right.
signal. So we apologize on that. So touchdown is good, and now they're going to go for the extra point, which in the context, Brent, if they had gone for the 2-point convert, they would be down by 16 if they do hit it.
Yeah. It would make more sense. So, I mean, we thought they were going for the 2. Obviously, we thought that the Volsi catch was a touchdown. I would still say go for the 2 here because you're right. If they get it, they'll be down by 16. So you have to get 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions after.
But it appears the air of resignation is on the side of Ahuntsic that they are going to wave the white flag, knowing that this game is out of reach in terms of the racetrack, getting shorter and shorter. So with that, Champlain is up by a score of 17, 2:41 left, Brent. We won't know if we're going to be back here next weekend.
I mean, we hope we are. I mean,
we won't know until 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, that's it, right? Obviously, the Champlain obviously taking care of business on their end. And again, with like 2:41 remaining, I really don't think a comeback is in order here for the Eagles. But again, the Cavaliers are going to turn into Outaouais fans because they need Outaouais to beat Victoriaville. If they do, we'll be back next week to host a playoff game. If not,
we'll see you next August.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
But Outaouais has to play this game because they are playing for the 1 seed.
Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly
it. That conversation.
Well, that's it. You look at the standings right here, right? I mean, onside kick probably going to be coming up here. Right now, though, Victoriaville in first, Outaouais with second, despite the fact that they both have 12 points.
And now here's the onside kick for Jeremy Lablanc, and they will get the roster on correct. And Grimard was late to the party. And now there'll be an overload to the left of the kick for Ahuntsic. And could Leblanc get this right or get a funny bounce to get it correct? And this would have gone out of bounds. So they get a free hit, Ahuntsic, and a timeout called. Because if that counted, that would have been
game over.
Game over in Champlain ball.
So I'm not sure why Champlain didn't have their hands team on to begin with, but now that timeout actually, smart one called by head coach Sean Main, they'll have a chance now to get their hands team on. Talking, of course, about the Champlain Cavaliers.
Now, special teams coach is former McGill Redbird, Vincent Detier, who is only wearing a polo shirt, nothing else. Showed off the guns. So Detier is in the huddle right now with Ahuntsic. And he looks like he is not cold at all. This in the polo shirt, Brent. I am cold watching him be cold.
Craziness. He's here. I remember we called a couple of his games when he played for McGill. Obviously a tough player, good defensive back, never afraid to lay down the hammer. I guess he's trying to lay down the hammer, I guess you could say, on this this late fall weather, perhaps.
And Detier is definitely a man's man. He's at the level of Mo Khan when it comes to being that toughness of cold. Toughness of cold, that is.
I don't know. You were just saying how cold you were, about 10 minutes ago.
It's reverse psychology with the weather.
Yeah.
You know how bad means good. When you say you're cold, you're really warm.
You're trying to speak your warmth into existence, I guess. Eh?
So here we go. Lamar had a free hit, and now he'll have the real one coming up with 2:41 left. Same action and same result, and there's a flag on the play and 2 flags on the play. And Champlain will have the ball. He took out the wrong iron from his golf clubs. That was the 5 iron and needed the 6 iron instead.
Getting the ball got the necessary height. That's what you want on an onside kick. You want to get the height, but you have to keep the ball in balance. And, of course, it has to travel more than 10 yards.
Well, it traveled. It went out of bounds.
Yeah, so the ball not staying in balance and not traveling 10 yards. Not a recipe for success for an onside kick.
Hunik is still out there, as Longo is off for the moment. And Champlain, I would imagine, Brand will try to run out the clock here with 2:41 left and up by 17. Still a 3-score lead, which, again, with 2:41 left, we've seen crazier things happen in football, but if you're smart, this game could be a wrap.
At least right now we see change here at running back is Jaden Ralph is on the sideline, rightfully so, well-deserved rest. There's Aaron Keese again, trying to get those reps, trying to get himself back into the game shape, if you will, in the backfield next to Peterkin.
Here is Keese. Better run for Keese. Best run of the year for him. Got 9 yards in that play for Aaron Keese. And he, coming into this game, had 4 carries for 7 yards. And that'll help the average per carry on that run.
Oh, definitely. And getting a well-deserved round of applause. Some cheers from his teammates and coaches on the sideline here. Get the ball to him again. Pick up 8 yards there on first down, 2nd and 2. Get the ball right back to the running back. Okay, missing so much time due to injury, right? You want to get him not just back in game shape. You want to have him get a couple of hits and deliver some hits himself. Get back into football mode 100%. Practice is a lot different than games.
Another high snap. Keese has got a big crease. And he'll get to the 40, and there's an injured player. Edgehill is down, and there's a flag on the play as well. And Edgehill might have a cramp, in fact.
You see Peterkin running over right away to help out his offensive lineman, the left tackle. And I think actually Edgehill's the one who's going to be called for a hold here. So hold going against the Cavs, pushing him 10 yards back after Keese was able to pick up a first down.
Literally at insult to injury. And Joan Edgehill, it appears, may have not hydrated enough on a cold day today.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. That does happen. Unfortunately, as a player, right, you got to remember you always have to hydrate no matter what the temperature is. You have to get water, get electrolytes into your body, right? Or the cramps will happen. Usually it happens more when the weather is hot, right? At the beginning of the season in late August, early September. But even when it's cold outside, you still have to make sure you get enough water into your body. You have a lot of those soft tissue injuries.
Something you're very familiar with, I see, Brent.
And for the amount of time you spend on the bench, Mo, you're right, though. You wouldn't be familiar with injuries, and it's familiar with not playing in general, but it's all right.
So Edgehill will go off, and they'll bring on a new left tackle, and that will be, it appears, can't get the number yet, as Hackett Anthony's covering the left tackle on this play. We'll get to you after this play coming up with a 2nd down for the Cavaliers and long. Keese bouncing, still bouncing. Loss of yards, well played, tracked down by Mayan Kent, and this will be a 3rd down for the Cavaliers. Coming up, and the left tackle is Charlambos.
Yeah, in white jerseys all the way in the backfield as soon as he got the ball, seemingly. One last block, though, at the tackle, number 77, would have been able to keep his block just a second longer. Putting rather the center, I should say, just a second longer. Keith would have been able to take that ball up the right sideline for a big gain.
140 and counting as we're on our way to win number 6 for the Cavaliers. Ahuntsic will drop the high snap again, and they'll blow this whistle down. Ahuntsic will drop to 4-4. And, you know, Brett, sometimes the old school ways, maybe take the ball, snap under center to avoid these.
Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. It doesn't need to be, especially considering the amount of times this afternoon that it's been a high snap and Peterkin's had either trouble corralling it or he's had to jump up. Like I said, tons of times in this contest, he had to jump up to catch the ball and then reset his feet either for a handoff or for a pass. And that just throws off everything. It throws off the timing of the play, right? Get right behind, get under center. Get under center, get the snap. He can go backwards. He can roll out from there. He can hand it off from there. And he's struggling with the shotgun snap. Deviating away from it might be the best course of option right here.
Another high snap. Over the middle. And complete, picked off. Wow. An INT for Ahuntsic, and that is Dupont-Labelle flagging the play. And for Dupont-Labelle, that's his 4th INT through the hands of Clark, who's had 2 drop passes in the second half for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and Clark, that's just a bad drop right there. I mean, listen, I talked about course of action before, right? With getting going on the center and getting the snap. We went back to the shotgun snap, right? Good snap this time. Good throw, even better throw by Peterkin. But if you're Clark, you have to make that grab. I mean, get your hands on the ball, and you're pretty much essentially, this game is over. So an INT right there for the Ahuntsic defense. And for Ahuntsic, that's the second time in as many games that Nicolas Dupont-Labelle got an INT.
And for Peterkin, that's his 5th INT of the season. That's INT number 10 in his career. And again, they are going to have a conversation, these Cavaliers, on the snap of the football. Sediako did not get a clean snap during that drive, and we'll have to work on that going towards next week.
And he got a talking to by the coaching staff as soon as he made his way to the sideline.
I think that was a lecture, more than a talk. 1:23 left in this ball game, so Voyer will have a chance here to maybe pull off the ultimate smash and grab. And there's a deep ball, and that is caught in stride to the 35. One man to beat his bot, going towards the grain and tackled at the 18. A big catch and run coming in for Ryu. And again, a first target read for Voyer comes up big, and that keeps them, albeit though, faint hopes alive in this matchup.
Yeah, listen, they can get a touchdown here and get the 1-point convo. They're only down by 10 at that point. Yeah, good grab right there by the receiver, able to get some yak yards too, right? Yards after the catch, after making that big grab. Now Champlain, rather I should say, Ahuntsic able to set up shop in the red zone.
And that is Carmel, who's down on the ground. And Champlain, a little twitchy coming to the end of this game. And they hope to reassert themselves going towards playoffs next week. An electric start. They open up the game with the opening touchdown. And then from there, even down 7-6, they went and scored 22 without reply, 10 off the first half, and they have not looked back since then.
And again, right now, if you're Ahuntsic, obviously, again, you never want to give up hope, right? You're down 38-21. I mean, that is a big deficit to come back from. You're down by 17. I mean, we have seen crazy comebacks in the time that we've been calling football and obviously watching football and playing football, both you and I. But it is a big hill to climb. But again, you're 17. We've seen crazier things happen. If you can get a touchdown right here and make it a little closer, get an onside kick, pull it off this time, you never know, right? So this game, I don't want to say it's far from over with 1:12 remaining on the clock, but
it is over.
It's over, but Ahuntsic, I'm trying to be positive here. Ahuntsic is still showing some fight. Still showing some fight.
And that's what you want going into the playoffs, is that these guys have not packed up the U-Hauls to go home. They're going to get ready for next week. They have a big one against La Puck next week on the road, which will be huge. But the question for Ahuntsic will be the health of the bodies available for them next weekend.
Mokan taking the positivity away from Ahuntsic here this afternoon.
I provide reality moments. Voyer. Fumble. That's not the reality he wants. He gets on the hop, and Voyer will go out of bounds. And again, Brent, the biggest question for Remy Giguère going into next weekend with 58.5 left is, will Voyer be his quarterback, or will it be Paquin next week?
I don't think it should be a question. There's no question. Listen, Paquin, was he horrible? No. I mean, he did some things. He was able to use his athleticism to evade pressure, and he ran for a couple of first downs. But it's, in terms of successful passing, especially deep, it's Voyer, and it's Voyer by a mile. So I mean, maybe if you want to have some packages where you have Paquin in there to maybe to run the ball or something of that nature, fine. But if you want to really be serious about winning the game, Voyer has to be your quarterback.
Voyer firing. Beautiful pass. Eye the needle stuff. Touchdown, Ahuntsic. El Gemayel with the catch. And that is a score to make it a 38-27 lead for the Cavaliers. But to reassert your point, that might have got him the #1 spot for next weekend.
Well, if it wasn't obvious, it is now, right? I mean, listen, a good pass right there by Voyer. Put the ball up for the receiver to make a play. The receiver came down with the ball, fought his way into the end zone. And again, too little too late now. Pending the extra point, it'll be a 10-point game. It looks like they're going to be going for 2 here to make it a 9-point game. Regardless of what happens, again, 38 or 51.3 seconds remaining. I mean, unless... Well, okay, now they're going for 1, so my apologies. So it's going to be a 10-point lead here for the Cavs. So even if Champlain does give up the onside kick, which you imagine is going to be happening after this play here. We see the kick is good.
Kick is converted.
Voyer has led this offense down the field successfully multiple times in this contest. In my opinion, I might say it doesn't matter, but in my opinion, he should be the starting quarterback next week for the Eagles.
And Champlain's got some cleanup to do, Brent, for next weekend, because this fourth quarter did not go as smooth as it was in the first half.
Good.
And now they will have to get going here moving forward. So Champlain, work to do, and still waiting for the update for the Momo Champlain game from this afternoon for soccer. Champlain men's, the defending Quebec champions. They'll be here for the Nationals. They'll be hosting that next weekend. Or in 2 weeks, I beg your pardon. And another onside coming up for Ahuntsic. And Champlain hoping this time it'll be the same result as the last onside. And it will be LeBlanc who used the 5-iron. Let's see if he goes more of the 7-iron to have a maybe bounce or 2 to keep some chaos alive. Another long range. Grimard tracking it. It'll be Reed. And Reed will dive down there. And with 51 seconds left, it could be victory formation time. But we'll see what the flow will be now, Brent.
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, 51.3 seconds remaining. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? Hand it off once or twice, and then, yeah, take a couple of knees, and that should wrap it up. If you're Champlain, the only thing you don't want to do here, the main thing you want to do here is just protect the ball, obviously. But you should be well on your way to your
win number 6.
Here. Yep, victory number 6 of the season. Victory number 6 of the season.
And for Champlain and for Sean Main, it'll be the highest win total he's had as a Champlain head coach at 6 wins. 51.3 left. Peterkin's got 2. Keese in the backfield. And now Ahuntsic playing out for the run. And Keese will smuggle his way up to the 50. And Giguère, no indication of a timeout. Second down coming up here, and I think Giguère is waving the white flag. So 46.1 left. Sean Main looks towards the bench of Ahuntsic. And I think he knows that he can take knees sooner than later.
And that's exactly it, right? And this is a smart move by Giguère, right? Listen, he knows firsthand he's lost a lot of bodies here this afternoon. Don't risk it anymore, right? Just, listen, play for next week. Get ready. There's going to be a couple of lessons he and his team learn from this game. And obviously, they'll look to have a good week of practice and get ready for the playoffs. I know a little shot there delivered by one of the Ahuntsic players. That was, I believe that was Emile Cossette, number 43 there.
So clock with 16.8 left here. They will, bit of a confusion of who's in, who's out for Ahuntsic, but this will be the final play. So for the outgoing seniors like Emerson Peterkin, Jaden Ralph, they lead their regular season campaign undefeated at home. They'll be 4-0 at Seaway 3, 2-2 away. And now questions will be asked who they will face next weekend. Brent, final thoughts.
Again, we hope, obviously, this is not our last home game of the season here. Let's be honest, we're all pulling for Outaouais to knock off Victoriaville. A big response, though. Again, after losing last week at Drummondville, the Cavs responded in a big way, 38-28 victory over Ahuntsic. Again, once again, solidifying their trip to the postseason. We've had the opportunity and the privilege of calling Everson Peterkin his game since he's been here. He has the talent to really lead this team to a championship, right? It's just a matter of will they start it here on the road next week, or will they have a chance will they have to take it on the road? Pardon me, start it here at Seaway next week, or have to do it on the road. Guys like Jaden Ruff, we saw throughout the game, through every game this season, he's gotten better and better and better. Seeing the young, exciting combo of Darius Reed and Massimo Longo, and I got to say those two receivers, we came into the year, one of the biggest question marks, right? Who's going to replace P.J. Frederick and Emile Gregoire? Longo and Reed have proven more than capable of being up to the task, as has Jaden Clark, right? So this team is exciting. They can rush the passer. They're aggressive in the secondary. The sky's the limit. As long as Champlain doesn't beat themselves, they have a chance of winning the national championship.
We'll find out at the end of the day today whether Champlain will be on the road or at home. And from there, we'll see who they face. If they do play at home, they'll play Rimouski. If they go on the road, they go to Jonquière next weekend. On behalf of Brent Bach and the staff and crew, wish you a good evening. We'll